stick to those topics, okay?
No, because I don't plan to.
I gotta pee again. No, we can start. Go ahead.
Yo, you are trash.
We can start. Go ahead.
Oh man.
I like to actually get it in the midst of everything.
All right, I hear you. Welcome back. Episode 004 of Blood Don't Matter podcast. Guess what, guys?
What?
We have a logo. So tonight I'm gonna.
In spite of the enemy of progress,
we have a logo, and I'm gonna spend the next couple days making sure that the logo goes up and that these episodes end up on a lot of different streaming services, including podcast.fm, Spotify. I think so, something like that. But it's one of these. But I've made several accounts, and I'm trying to make sure that we get our voices heard and out there for the people's enjoyment.
Oh wow! All
the people.
5 of you guys, we love you.
I do appreciate them now, but yes, we got a logo finally, man. And you guys already seen the design. Well, what you guys think about it?
I didn't know which one we went with.
I showed you, didn't I? Not.
You showed me all of them, but you didn't show me the one you chose.
It's the mic.
We're going with that one.
Yes.
Big reveal. It's not even a reveal.
No, the people won't see it. The people will see it once it goes up.
I like that one. That's not bad.
Wow.
I like that.
I love it.
Yeah, I think
We took a mixture of two because this wasn't the original font that went with this mic.
Mm-hmm.
So we mixed two concepts from another mic and this one together.
But all true, I really, really hated the formation of like how the mic looked, only for him to tell me that the artist did a flip on it and it was a blood drop, and I was like, oh snap, I like it more now.
I ain't even peep.
Man.
That's fine. That's fine. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, why do mine kind of look like that? I ain't even peep. That's the blood drop. That's hard.
I was like,
yeah, that's fine.
Well, last episode we talked about it, and I said, the one thing I wanted to stay away from was anything that represented blood or anything like that.
Yeah,
but when I saw that, I said, all right, that's kind of dope. So I didn't make it red, obviously, or maroon, or whatever the case may be. So I do like the yellow because it's abstract.
I like the contrast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
It's abstract, so
got it.
It'll be nice, man. Yeah. So, and I've been watching videos on how to do a certain type of thumbnail. Just looking at all the different type of podcasts out there and seeing how people their format, how they lay out their format. So I just been taking little concepts here and there. I try to make a podcast.
Not concepts. He gets inspired.
What?
You can't just be like, oh, I just find concepts from everybody else, and you get inspired by
no. It is because it's a certain style, so it's absolutely a concept because it's a certain style. I'm not taking one style from a particular episode, but usually, especially like if you look on Twitter and you follow different podcasts on Twitter, they have their own type of thumbnails, right? Like there's certain type, like the category, how they categorize thumbnails are different these days. Okay. So like for instance, a lot of podcasts I watch, they take whatever current event that's out there for the week, whether it's related to the topic what they're talking about.
Sometimes they'll blend it around and they'll put
correct.
It. Okay, look.
I mean, all they're doing is taking a Getty image and sticking their logo in the episode. So I like that, but I'm gonna do it a little bit different, a little, in my opinion, a little nicer. I'm gonna improve on that concept because it is absolutely a concept. It's a thing. It's a stylistic way of, especially our music podcast or our podcasts from other people that look like us that are in that industry.
He's talking about black people.
I am. So I'm gonna adopt that stylistic flow, but I needed to be able to do it myself. So I've been watching videos on how to use GIMP because we don't have Photoshop and I'm not paying all that money for Adobe. Fuck you. So, that kind of stuff.
I mean, if you want the free Photoshop, bro, you taught me after.
Yo, I got the GIMP already, son. It's too late.
Right.
It's already too late.
That don't even sound like an industry standard.
I'm really ready for my weekly update.
Isn't that the end?
No.
Oh, no. That's stems and seds. Okay.
Wait. Well, I was just giving us my update. Can I have my update?
My bad, because I just had stuff to say.
All right, go ahead, Shauna.
Okay, guys. So the first weekly update for me is that I have been very anxious about, y'all know I'm in the Army or whatever, and I'm under contract, and so it's time to get my contract renewed. There's a whole bunch of backstory, and it hasn't gotten renewed yet. There's no cause for concern, but I have just found myself, a little bit concerned because we have a whole baby, a whole house, and we live here because of the military for the most part. And it's just, wow. It's throwing me so off. And then also, the secondary to that is that Victor owes me money. I'm gonna start acting like Stewie very shortly here. I'm gonna break his kneecaps.
What had happened was, see, the way
No,
my
it's
check-ins
fine.
and savings would be like, yeah. So
No, it's completely
This is how it
fine
works.
because now, because I've had so little to do, meaning like I've drawn back from certain things as far as like I would say recreational, I have nothing but time to ruin Victor's life. And we're exactly the same person, so I know these things will hurt him, and I can't wait. I'm actually really excited about it.
next check, got you. Next check.
Crazy. He's been saying that for like a month. But
No, but like
you
for
know
real
what?
this
I
time,
want
for
him to
real,
keep
for
the
real this
energy.
time.
No. I want him to keep the energy because I have so many fun activities planned.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be freaking great. That's it.
Where's my money, man?
H-E-L-P.
Where's my money?
I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be very like it's gonna give very much Home Alone. It's gonna give very much like you're gonna get a rash within the next week or
I
so.
think-
May or may not have diarrhea. It's gonna be a fantastic time. I
Wow.
have nothing but time. Today I got time because I'm so excited. Because first I was like, you know, where my money, man? Where my money, man? And I'm like, I don't even have any friends.
But look,
I have no friends and we in a panorama. Oh, it's about to get lit. It's about to get lit.
but look, you just told me your plan, so now I'm gonna
Oh,
counteract
nah.
it.
Because you know what it is?
What?
When you least suspect it, I want you to expect it. But then it's probably not going to happen. Oh, man, it's going to be great.
I got a secret weapon though.
Who cares?
Alright, you gonna say that till you see what the secret weapon is. You're gonna be like,
It's great.
nah.
I'm going to have a good time, guys. So I haven't been excited about anything in quite some time. I haven't really even been inspired to film on my own.
No, we haven't done a discussion of power in a minute.
Yeah, or even like just me playing in makeup, which it's something that I quite enjoy. But you know what I'm saying? I had like a mental health crisis, so I mean like it all made sense or whatnot. But this whole thing with Victor owing me money.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be so I haven't been this excited in a while. I can't wait. I feel like I'm gonna film some of it. Like it's gonna be like a
It's for all the wrong reasons, but as you can see, I play a very important role in her life.
I'm so inspired. He does.
Until the paycheck, at least.
Yeah, until the paycheck, because I'm clearly gonna pay you back. So it's like, yeah, you might as well just forget all his plans anyway.
Always right. Until
And he gonna contribute too. So
Wow, Shemar definitely already
'Cause-
paid his rent. So
no, he gonna pay part of mine too, because you know,
Great.
I got my hand on my hip. He know what that means. Look, he's
Wow.
starting to sweat already. Look, see, he already know. It's a little inside thing. It's a little inside thing, bro.
Whoa,
He already know.
I can't wait. I haven't really been this inspired in a really long time, and it has made me feel like warm and fuzzy inside. Like I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, Shemar, your weekly update.
Yeah, weekly update for Shemar.
I should be doing the same thing.
Well,
Shemar's
I see you off on the weekend now. I mean that's exciting, no?
First of all,
Just kind of random.
Oh,
And I didn't feel like
it's definitely random. Also, he has his feet crossed, like you know, like the newscaster guys, like firmly crossed. He is exactly as cool as he seems.
That's a weird word to use. Cool.
Wow. He's very stoic.
what's up with you, Vic?
I'm chilling, man. You know, another week, another week of hustling, bro. You know, I'm going on
trying to make
day.
his week seem so like
Just,
inspirational.
look,
Man, just come home,
hey.
play video games, and go back to work.
hey, look.
Man, y'all
Isn't
not
that-
gonna disrespect me.
I just be coming home. You know, I hit my little workout. You know me, 300 push-ups. I run 6 miles. You know, I ran my 6 miles in the snow today. I see some deer, man. I fed them.
Ran 2.5 miles to the leasing house.
Nah. I mean, you know me, bro. Just another week in the life of me. I might start vlogging, bro. You know, might go crazy. We'll see.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Fantabulous. Okay, so we're going into the big news now.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I do wanna talk about like one of the things that you had mentioned. Okay, what y'all feel about that girl with the super gorilla glue?
That shit is hilarious.
No, it's not.
That
It
shit is
was.
hilarious.
It was funny when it first came across my timeline. I was like, yo, but her hair is laid though.
No, for what it's worth, her hair did look good.
It looks really
But-
nice.
I'm trying to figure out the dynamic behind it, because if you guys ever use super glue, it's almost immediately like how that adhesive works. Like it takes a second, but like how she laid her hair, she had to be doing this for a minute.
No.
No,
'Cause
it's probably-
you guys actually don't know. Black woman here. No, so there's like levels to it. So you'll mold your hair down. So like it goes in stages. You prep your hair for that type of hairstyle, then you mold it down, then you'll put on your edge control, your gel. Usually it'd be like Eco Styler or something, but we don't support them no more because they trying to poison us out here in the
Eco?
streets. Yeah.
We got a whole tub of Eco in the bathroom right now.
Yeah, but they, you know what I'm saying? Like they trying to.
When were you
going
gonna tell me as the primary user of Eco?
Well, you know, trying to get you up out of here real quick.
That's crazy.
But
what I'm saying?
so you do the Eco Styler gel. You probably do your jams, your Gorilla Snot, all of that, right? So you'll tie your hair down, and you'll let that mold because most black females in America today is natural. So you gotta let that joint sit for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that is gonna create waves, kind of. You don't want that. You want a smooth ponytail because usually you try and put, you know, what I'm saying, you try and put the white man's hair on in a ponytail. So you want that thing to seamlessly match, right? So then when you take off that bandana, you take that joint off, right? You start hitting it with this freeze spray, and then you hit it with the hair dryer. That's where she fucked up because that hair dryer was like, activate, bitch, and it got together like Voltron, and that shit never the fuck came out.
When I first seen it, I did what everyone else do. It was like, oh shit, she put Gorilla Glue, ha ha, ha ha. And then that second video came up with her trying to wash it out with shampoo.
And she cried a little
And
bit.
she like low-key
And
cried.
I could
she
see.
cried.
But I was
the
thinking,
pain,
I was
and
like,
oh man.
I'm pretty sure with the invention of Gorilla Glue, there's an invention of something that diffuses it, right? There's like
Right,
some
but
kind
it's
of-
not safe
nothing
for
short
this.
of acid, and you don't
Right.
want to put acid on your
Acet-
scalp.
Well, that's what the dermatologist had suggested, that she put acetone on it. And he said that acetone is skin safe because the alternative would be like to take the glue off, like the other stuff, like the paint thinner, but that you can't put that on your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, on some, you know,
You may or may
the
not
scalp.
die.
is
Her hair's
probably
gonna be
the most
damaged,
sensitive
right?
part of your
No,
hair,
she's not gonna
sensitive part of your
have
skin.
hair. Essentially, I don't even
From the
think,
acetone?
I don't think she has hair anymore. So what it is that the chemicals, and then I'm sure she heated it because that's what you would do with like a freeze spray if
Yeah.
she was doing it the way she should have.
Yeah.
So I think that her hair actually like melted. You know what I'm
In
saying?
like on her head?
Right.
Woo.
So it was a chemical
knows?
reaction. So I don't think she don't even have hair no more.
That is tough.
So if she cut it and won't grow back.
Well, we don't know.
I don't
There
even know
was
if she gonna
pictures
have
floating
skin.
around that she was in
She's in
some
a
type of
hospital.
office setting at a hospital, and there's a picture of a
Yeah.
hospital. I don't know how real it is or anything like that because I don't
No.
follow the person, but
Well, yeah.
hopefully it is
definitely
real.
should
She is
have.
getting help, the help that she needs, because
But it will be more than likely surgically removed.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
My condolences. For real, because hair is a really important thing to me, at least. So
I remember getting my hair cut because I had a fro. I don't know if you remember that, but I had a big fro in high school. I remember when I cut it, I was real sad. I cried a little bit.
I cried when I got my dreads cut, man.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Did he really?
little bit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You
What?
were there?
It was like tears of joy, right? It was like,
Oh, tears of sadness, bitch. And then I kept them in a bag for like a year,
I had emotional attachment to my hair.
over a year.
and then what now?
Oh, I threw them away, but it took me over a year.
I wasn't even sad when I cut my hair off. You helped me cut my hair off. I literally took
It's different for women. It's like empowering.
No, I think
Yeah.
I came home and you had your hair already cut. You told me you were gonna cut it, and then I
No,
came
but
home.
then
It was
I-
already cut,
it
and I was
was
like,
cut.
I need
When
to
did you
help
cut it?
because
Yes.
it didn't look good.
When?
I cut it like.
You don't remember the year she went bald?
I don't remember
literally went
anything.
bald.
You don't remember? What were you doing?
Bro,
with
my
your-
memory is
Dissociates.
terrible.
Like from.
I think I have like an early stage of dementia.
It had to be
Doesn't.
just a couple of months after we moved into the house.
It
and
was
then
a
she cut
couple
her
of months
hair.
after we moved into the house, and I cut it, and I was like, "Dang, it's crazy. This don't
I have
look
no recollection
like how the fuck
of
it's
that.
supposed to look."
Really?
So then our mom comes home, and he's like, "No." And he was like, "You gonna have to come here." And I heard the clippers, and I was just like, "Help me!" And when he was done,
She
it
cut
was
it,
fly.
but it was
nice.
It was like
real nice.
it wasn't even or nothing or whatever.
It was
So
bad.
I had
It's
to
terrible.
help out, and I fixed that, and I made it even at least.
But it looked nice when he was done. I felt I don't know. I felt really good about it. It looked real.
Yeah,
It was cute.
it's like
It was
it's a
cute.
thing. See, when women cut their hair, it's like empowering and everything.
Yeah, I loved it. I
When
loved
when,
it.
when men cut their hair, bro, this shit sucks. Like I don't.
No,
That shit's
I
painful.
enjoy getting my hair cut now.
No, you enjoy getting a fade. I'm talking
No,
about cutting it
I-
off.
what do you think I did, man? I took off like
After how long? After how
I
long?
took like 4. Yeah, but I took like 4 or 5 inches off my head.
And the fact that you could do that.
I hear you, but
Yeah, that nigga hair don't
mine
grow.
was double my length. Like I used to pull down here. I cut it
Exactly,
all
you
off.
had that length though. I'm talking about like chopping like that. That's devastating. That's devastating.
So
Yeah, I had emotional attachment with my hair.
Lil Uzi Vert has a diamond in his head.
Shout out to Go. That is such a boss move, bro. This man, he said he was paying off that diamond since 2017. Finally paid it off.
What, 24 million, I think?
Bro, oh, that is such a goat move.
million.
And someone on Twitter, they was like, "Damn, bro, how you got something worth more than everything you own?" He was like, "Yep, it's worth more than all my cars and my house." Broke ass nigga. I was like, "Damn." I was like, "This nigga's so goated, bro." Like that is the coolest thing you can do. That is such a big
Do you
flex.
think Uzi Vert's? I have.
It's conservative. Oh, go ahead.
That is not cool. It's just,
Shamar's
why?
like, you know what? These fucking.
I mean,
kids
I did
is
enjoy
this.
all them Thanos memes, but other than that, you know.
There was one Thanos beat.
No, there's a lot.
There was a lot.
There's ones
There
of
was one.
well, Uzi himself posted a picture of like Vision and Wanda on the swing, because he's Vision now. And then like on Twitter and my Instagram at least, because I follow a lot of rappers, so all the rap meme pages was making hella memes of Thanos just pulling this shit out. Or is that me when I see Lil Uzi or some shit? Like
And
it's
he
funny.
Slipping with his
literally
security.
can never not have security.
No, I mean it's not permanent. He said, I think he said today or yesterday, he said it wasn't a permanent thing.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I know those they like inserted or whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like, so they insert like a flat thing and then only like the little spike is sticking out and it kind of screws on type of thing. So you can take it on and off, but that shit definitely got a heel on his head.
Oh, yeah.
He planned to have security with him.
I mean, Uzi. I mean,
time.
he does roll with security often, but he's also not one of those rappers who gets into a lot of beefs. Like the only beef he got in was like with Rich the Kid, and he handled that himself.
Beef don't matter when you got a $20
it's just.
diamond.
I mean,
Most crimes
he got the
that
fofo on him
happen
too.
due to opportunity.
It's
Like,
literally opportunity
yeah.
out here. And
Look,
I
look,
don't even
look.
think that he needs like presidential type stuff, because if you really think about it, ain't nobody that want that diamond gonna even run up with no trying to fight the security. Nigga, I'm finna spray all of y'all. I don't need motherfucking Uzi alive to pull that shit right the fuck out. And I'm not even putting that
And it's
energy
worth
out.
24?
What
Like,
I'm
come on
saying
now.
is like, and then it's not even a piece where you're like worried about like, oh my god, how can I get nigga a hammer, bitch, and sell it like.
Nah, you can't. If you break a diamond and try to sell the clusters, first of all, let's be
I don't
real.
even know how that
Let's be real here. Let's be real. Anybody who's gonna run down and really risk catching a body for the diamond, I guarantee they don't know how to sell a diamond. You don't just go and put a diamond on Amazon.
Maybe.
There's a specific way to sell diamonds.
But I
Like-
also think that he literally put a target on his back, because you at that point you don't.
Nah, I don't think
it's
so.
one
But-
thing that you know that you could literally leave the United States. Like you never have to come back. That is a lifetime earning type of thing.
Yeah, but and someone that desperate that would try to run down or whatever the case may be, they're not looking to come up with 24 million. Someone that desperate is probably fine with $1 million. And whoever the buyer is, that's the one that's
The
really
black
going to
market,
make.
that's
Yeah,
who's
that's the
gonna
one that's
really
really
make
going to
the
make the
money.
money.
Because you think that a thief is going
It's
to be
not
like, I want
that-
24 million for this. They're going to be
It's
like,
not that
yo,
easy.
give me a smooth 5 nigga and I'll disappear forever.
The amount.
I would think five. I think 500,000, and they'd be like, I'm good.
The amount. The amount of prep and work it takes to catch the body, to steal
It's
the
about
diamond and
opportunity,
everything,
man.
it's not
about
going.
opportunity.
Like,
They're
let's be
not
real.
gonna Ocean 11 him.
Let's be real, bro.
It'll be
like no
you said,
Rihanna.
it'll be that one moment with his security looking the other way, and some dude's gonna try to run up on him. Look, again, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't
but
think it's gonna happen
I
either.
think most crimes are is an opportunity. It's a moment of opportunity, and if someone was to do that, that person's probably desperate enough to where they're not looking for 24 mil. They know it's worth 24 mil, but they're probably taking
not even
an
looking for
easy
that.
500,000.
I think the only reason people even say that is just because of the fact that it's in his forehead. If he had got a $24 million watch, nobody would bat an eye. Because let's be real,
No,
Drake walks around with $1 million trench coat, nobody robbing him. All these rappers have hundreds of thousands worth of jewelry on them at all times. Like everyone's a walk-in
Yeah,
lick.
Pop
This
Smoke
doesn't
got a
change
gift
anything.
and put it on his Snapchat and died.
Well, but he leaked his Addy.
He
That-
didn't.
he didn't leak his
Not
Addy.
on purpose. Not on purpose. So he took it because it was a gift.
Not
right?
on purpose, but that's what happened.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it literally just needs to be an opportunity. It doesn't. It's like when you least suspect it, expect it. You just gotta do the smallest thing, nigga. You fuck around, order DoorDash out this bitch.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what
But
I'm saying? Like,
I don't
That's
think-
why I want
I
them
don't-
just to leave it by the door. Like,
I don't-
go, nigga. Okay.
I don't think the diamond raises the chances of that opportunity arising.
I don't know.
think
I
so.
just,
So
I
much
just,
faith in
I just, I
humanity.
just hope that it's everything that he wants and he stays safe while he has it.
Absolutely.
I might get it. I might do the same thing.
You might do the same
I
thing.
would
Do the same
never
fucking
Oh,
lie.
you
thing.
got the
That
perfect,
shit
like,
would be so.
like, you
Bro,
got the
I'm getting. I might get some shit
wide
bigger than
screen.
his, bitch. That shit is hard, man.
You got a good
imagine my wrist.
Screen you go for
imagine my earrings, my wrist, my neck all blinging, and then you see my forehead. That shit blinging too, bro. Oh my god, that shit is so hard. That shit. This nigga, you turn off the light, you see diamonds sparkling on his head, bro. That shit is fire.
Have to call you. What's that Spider-Man villain? Tombstone or something?
What?
We're definitely gonna have to call
Which
you
one?
Tombstone. The dude with the square head, like you have to
Cap. Cap.
Alright, so next thing. How y'all feel about Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B's new videos just dropping? Like,
I need
feel
to
like
peep. What is it?
Megan Thee Stallion dropped her new video with the baby, Cry Baby, and Cardi B just dropped her new song All Together. Like,
yeah. Well, I tell you what, between both of those videos, there's a lot of ass shaking. And
Are they controversial?
No, they're not.
No,
I'm appreciative.
The only thing that was controversial is that like her team had to pull down this live because you know like how it's the Rona outside, so they have to like be strategic on their rollout and marketing or whatever. So they did this whole live, and the baby was like just not interested. It seemed like maybe there was friction, there was beef. I don't really know what the situation.
Between him and Meg?
Yeah, like, and it was real weird. And then he thought and then after, like, it was so dry, he wasn't answering her questions, he was ignoring her, whatever. He was even having side conversations. Like, mind you, this is a PR thing that he has to do, that he's probably contractually obligated to do, because if he wasn't, that nigga would not be on screen. But he made it so awkward, and then, like, they got him off the phone, and I guess he didn't hang up yet, and his homeboy was like, yeah, man, that bitch ugly.
Maybe they wasn't talking about Meg.
No, they definitely talking
about I don't know how anyone look at Meg and say that she's ugly. That's not a thing.
But I don't think it was. I don't think it was like, oh, for that particular reason. I definitely think it was. They might have something going on. Like,
I mean, I don't listen to either of them, and I haven't seen either video, but I mean, without seeing it, I can get a general idea of what it is. And
I've seen the gifs of the videos, and like I said, there's a lot of ass shaking.
Yeah, I approve.
And I always appreciate a lot of ass shaking.
I feel like it's more of the same. It was geared towards TikTok-y stuff. I feel like the singles, I really enjoy Cry Baby with Meg Thee Stallion and the baby, but I feel like, what was it, Hot Shit or Cash Shit or whatever, I feel like that was their best collab, so I don't really feel like it reached that caliber. And Cardi B just was being Cardi B. It wasn't really like, oh my gosh, she did something. I think she remade that whole Britney Spears and Madonna thing, like she was kissing bitches in the video.
You didn't say all that. Now I gotta peep.
Yeah, so I mean, she was doing that, but it was nothing that great.
It wasn't like hot kissing. It was just like kissing. Nah. But you could tell it wasn't really into it.
It really wasn't. It really was. I mean, nah, Cardi B definitely got like a long ass tongue, so like, I mean, she was kissing bitches. You know, it looked like she was definitely kissing bitches, but it just was. It wasn't bad. Like, I don't want to like paint it like
it was just mid. Just like
It was just like the same.
Yeah.
It looks all the same.
Yeah.
You know, I do think that a lot because of TikTok, social media, and things like that. A lot of the companies, music industry is just a lot of, microwavable.
Right.
Yeah.
Feels like it's all the same.
Like, nobody's releasing art.
Yeah.
So it wasn't art.
Speaking of art, and on the topic of rappers and stuff, let's just throw this in there.
Okay.
My nigga 6ix9ine making a comeback, bitch.
Stop it.
That boy dropped. That boy, and he bearded up. My dog grew a beard while he was gone,
we
bro.
Blood Don't Matter podcast do not endorse 6ix9ine at all.
Bro.
What do you think about 6ix9ine?
My nigga 6. All right, go ahead. Get your thoughts first before I break news.
Wow. What I think about him now, I mean, I don't really got an opinion on him.
Yeah, it's just whatever.
What?
Like, you don't like him or
We
dislike
don't
him?
listen to him.
I don't care.
We don't support that.
What do you think about the ratting?
Obviously, he wasn't about it, so.
What you mean?
No, but what do you think about the fact, like, do you think that even though he did, put away a lot of dangerous and bad people, do you think that it's wrong for him to tell on his own gang despite them being criminals?
Well, he was never a gang member.
He was absolutely.
He was.
No, he
Never
was.
a gang- no,
I mean,
you're right.
he's not.
That's true.
He's not like a gang banger, but he was definitely racketeering.
No, he definitely should have not snitched. He should have took his goddamn time. Whether they wanted to kidnap him or not, you should have chalked that shit up to the game. Okay, literally the game, because that nigga got shot by his friends too. What I'm saying is that this is not a law-abiding citizen like some old lady, walking home and get shot in a drive-by, and somebody tells. This man willingly participated in drugs in weaponry. He ordered hits on people, and they had the nerve to snitch because these niggas wanted to kill him. There's no honor among thieves. Like, what do you?
So then, what's the issue?
That my issue is that he out here running around. First of all, no, I think it's those grown ass black men between the ages of 30 and literally 50 that allow this little Mexican kid to come all up in their organization, know all the shit, didn't just use him for his fame.
He brought the money. He brought the money.
And he should have. And I think that they should have took
it's
that
a
little
lot
nigga
more
for all
simpler.
his shit.
I think it's a lot more simpler than that.
What you think?
Everything about him, it just exudes like just
He's an agent of
corniness.
chaos.
No,
He's not
it's just
corny.
no, it's corniness.
He's not corny.
No, he's not corny. After watching the documentary,
he's not
he's not
corny.
corny. Because when he used to, because he was really on that, not really on like gang shit, but he really was on that like scum shit when he was running with Zilla.
He's a kid from the hood that wanted to get fame, he wanted to get rich, and he did everything that's possible to get it. The difference is I don't think he really understands that there's a difference. Like not all money is good money, you know, and how the antics and
I think
everything else,
capitalism
that shit was
thinks
corny.
different.
Huh?
I think capitalism thinks different.
What he was doing wasn't
All
capitalism. You know what he was doing wasn't capitalism. Regardless of how he got there, all that shit was sucker shit. Everyone around him, what they were doing, all that shit was sucker shit. You know, just everything. Like just think about that. Like you come up, and the people around you who's supposed to got you have your back is then gonna rob you and then try to hold you captive and kidnap you. What kind of sucker bullshit is that shit? Like just that entire entity from him all the way down and everyone involved, sucker shit. All that shit was sucker shit.
No. What are you talking about, nigga? That
all that shit sucker
that's
shit.
all. That all. No, because
if
you saying that it's sucker
you,
shit implies that there's real shit in the street life, and there ain't. All of it is sucker shit. Anything to do with the streets is sucker shit.
Absolutely.
You a dumbass nigga if you're in the streets. Period.
That's my point. That's my point. And then especially if I'm trying to, if I'm the one bringing in the money, if I'm bringing in all the money, and then y'all get mad because y'all not doing nothing.
But you acting like you bringing in the money, and you like Jay-Z and Dame or some niggas that got it out the mud together.
Nah.
They did not know him.
Money, period.
Where the loyalty was
It
with
was
the money?
the-
Like no, like what are you talking about? Money is the root of all evil. Like no, hell no.
I think the whole thing is sucker shit. I can't support. You know, and don't get me wrong. I do think that his music when he first came out, like that. What
I
was
don't
that?
like
That blicky.
screaming rap shit.
Yo,
That shit is.
and
hot.
that's what I was getting to. So he dropped a little
The
snippet of
blicky
him in the
is hot.
studio,
But even
and it
that
sounds
style
like
of rap is-
2017
Nah,
6
but
9
that style
bro.
of rap is not gonna go far.
I don't like.
That's
the
what blew him
screaming
up. What do you
stuff.
mean?
His content.
And he has
is not
that
bad,
one
though.
song that just about all his fan base can name. Like
One
No,
song.
no.
Yeah, I'm like,
Nah.
what? No, he went like what 3 years dropping a hit like every other month. Like
He's not
no.
bad. He's not bad. I just don't like when he screams.
no.
Yeah, I love the screaming shit. Look, he dropped a little snippet. First of all, he got a beard, and that shit looks it's kind of fire too. But
It's a struggle.
he dropped this. It's not a struggle beard. It's full as fuck. Like
No,
it's very
it's
full.
full like right
No,
here. I don't know.
because
It's only on the chin. Yeah.
Because before he went to jail, he was becoming more commercial.
Mm-hmm.
That shit didn't sound good. I
I
the
know.
raw
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. The snippet is good because it's like the raw shit he was making back then.
I don't know.
And
I'm not gonna. Either way, I'm not gonna listen to it. So I can't even say.
I don't
I'm
really
not gonna have
even
a
know that
different
I wish
opinion.
6ix9ine
I think all of that
well.
shit is
He
sucker
suck
shit.
it.
I'm not gonna listen to it.
You don't wish him well.
Like he was just like he hurt a lot of people.
Who?
Like fucking neighborhood people. When he ordering hits and getting people beat up, a girl literally got shot because of him.
Oh, word.
Word.
That's
All
crazy.
word. You should have watched his trial and read that fucking paperwork. Like he is not innocent at all. But he out here. I hope he take care of his kids and and stays out the streets. I guess. But anyways, too
All
bad.
that shit is sucker shit.
It's
I don't care
February
about
and
none
I
of that.
refuse to talk about anything other than black. What y'all trying to do for Black History Month? You first.
What do you mean do?
No,
Stay
like
Stay
stay
black?
What the fuck?
That's it. I'm just
Stay black?
I'm just Black History Month. Like
You're
that's
just
it.
wow.
He says black excellence. You gonna leave him alone?
Oh, got it.
Got it.
For Black History Month, I want to create content. And like I said, I was originally inspired by Victor because the nigga owed me money. So that kind of inspired
It's not
me.
content.
It's going to be content.
It's gonna be court evidence.
All facts, all facts. I'm playing to hurt him. In every way, shape, or form, I'm going to make him cry this month. So that's going to be my Black History.
I just want to know. Both of y'all better keep me the fuck out of it.
No, I'll just be trying to chill, bro.
It's going to be fantastic. So I guess the last thing that I want to do, since we're talking about debate news and Black history or whatnot, Black excellence. You want to go into that film?
Which one?
Actually,
Mal-
no. I don't want to go into the film.
Oh.
You know why? Because I don't want to label everything that a black person does as black excellence. I wish for black folks of all the whole diaspora to be black in February and not have any expectations, not be crabs in a bucket, but also not be responsible for the entire freaking race. With
Wait, but I
living
thought that was the
life.
point of black excellence.
No, it's not, because I kind of get upset with that. Like, I feel like black people should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do in every sense of the word. Like, if you want to get super rich and then not help anybody, you should reserve the right to do that. I mean, like, Jeff Bezos literally like did a whole fucking did a whole thing like, oh, give my workers money. We gave the workers money and he like stole it and shit. I want a black person to reserve the right to be a thief. I just want you to be anything you want to be in this February.
Oh, no. See, when I think of black excellence, I don't think a very black person has to be like super, super amazing or anything. I think black excellence, well, it came from the term that, you know, back then, you look around, you don't see successful black people. So when black people were becoming successful, that was black excellence, and we tried to uplift that.
Not particularly.
Yeah,
It's kind of
well-
like breaking the ceilings. That's what black excellence was about, because black people ain't never stopped being successful. I mean, we did teach Europeans to shower, like
No.
and stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. Our ceiling was like down here. Well,
Right.
I mean,
There was no
due
ceiling.
to the
We couldn't get
system
recognition
created.
for anything.
Exactly.
Now that we
So
are, but the word excellence, I think it was commandeered because a lot of people, when they think of black excellence, it comes to the term of, you know, they think of, you know, the peak of the top of that mountain, and it puts a bad taste in some people's mouth because, like you said, black people don't have to be excellence to get recognition. Black people can just be black and do well in whatever in their respective fields, and they should be respected and honored in that right.
I thought that was black excellence.
Well,
Yes.
that's what it should be, but that's
But
not how
black
everyone interprets
excellence
it.
comes with like a ticket, so it's like a whole like package. So you are not considered black excellence, for example, if you acquire a certain amount of wealth or you like get into a field and you don't bring black people with you. And I feel like that's not necessarily the best. I mean, you always should look to do that. For example, that is literally Issa Rae's mantra. Like, I want to put on as many black people as possible.
Yeah, I mess with that.
And that's fire. But if somebody just wants to be, I feel like they should have that right as a human.
But do you think they should be celebrated the same as someone who would put their whole team on?
Absolutely. And I
The
think
same?
No,
No, I don't think so.
I
It's
think that you should at least acknowledge their accomplishments, because it's not easy to break a
It's not
ceiling, especially in
easy.
in
No, yeah,
entertainment business.
yeah, but that's what I'm
But
saying.
in
Not the
any
same.
field, like there's a lot of you know black businessmen and women that are running Fortune 500 companies that no one, you know, that a lot of people, including our own, don't know
even
about.
know about.
Yeah, and you know, it's not up to them to put other black people on. It'd be nice if they should, but they should at least be you know, respected and
Recognized.
recognize the fact that they've still managed to get into a very small section, and they happen to be black
They should
about
be,
it.
and yeah,
No,
they should
yeah.
be celebrated.
I-
You should be celebrated for your accomplishments. That's just how I feel.
I think so, yeah. But like, what I'm saying is, like, for example, if I let's say I start a Fortune 500 company or whatever, and I'm super successful and shit, but all my employees are Caucasian, right? And then let's say you start a Fortune 500 company, you're like my competitor, and you're super successful and shit, but you bringing a whole, like, you bringing a whole lot of black people into your thing, like a lot of impoverished black people, or, you know, the less fortunate black people in your community, you put them on, you know, give them jobs and stable living and everything. I think that what you're doing should definitely be put on a higher pedestal than what I'm doing.
No, I just think it's different. Different doesn't mean better or worse. It just means different. So that's called something. You're being a humanitarian. You're giving impoverished people, you're giving opportunities to people that maybe would not naturally have those opportunities, and you're doing that because you distinctively understand that there's a need for it in your market. But that is called something, right? So the thing is that you shouldn't just go to the door and be expected to do that, because
Really?
white people are just expected to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? There's no type of nothing. And for example, and when I say the reason why that's dangerous, right? So when you see a bad baby do something, right? She does something and you're like, that bad baby girl. And when people mention her, they mention her by name. They call it something. If that was a little black girl, she would be literally every little black girl ever. She would be speaking for the entire race, that entire gender. And that is what is the problem, because what you don't understand is that even though there's a positive side to that, there's also a negative side. If you expect a black person to, in a positive realm where you would consider positive, be somebody that has access to something, and because they have access to it, they help other blacks have access to the same thing, there's another side of that spectrum. Do you want every black person to speak for the entire diaspora?
No.
I think I do.
No.
I
No,
can't.
because-
I don't think I can understand somebody who would have the opportunity to bring up their people and just wouldn't, just because they don't want to.
That's
I
fair.
can't really understand that. That
No,
doesn't make
that's
sense to me.
absolutely
Well, it's not about not wanting to bring people up. You know, a lot of us get into the fields that we're in, or they try to they strive to be better than where they came from, because you know where they came from just really isn't shit. You know, it just ain't shit. So you know, and to me, that what you said, do I want someone representing the entire diaspora? No. That's the whole point of Blood Don't Matter, because not all skinfolk are kinfolk.
Absolutely.
They, you know, there are people that look just like me and you that will literally stab us in the back and keep moving.
Absolutely.
You know, so no, I don't believe that, and I don't think that not everyone is black excellence, and nor should everyone have to try to strive to be black excellence. Let's just, you know, it's not even about being excellent. Let's just be black and do the best that we can to be kind humans first. You know, and then do it while we black. You know, because
So you're saying we shouldn't strive for excellence because we're black?
I think naturally, black people are some of the most caring and some of the most forgiving people on earth.
Have to be.
Yeah.
Because of the circumstances. Have to
You know, so we naturally invite people in. We naturally we naturally help other people grow. You know, so when we have a time to where we can be selfish, an example I want to use is the argument between, not argument, but the disagreements that happened in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s with Spike Lee and Eddie Murphy, where Eddie Murphy was a star. Eddie Murphy was literally what you guys think of Kevin Hart today, of how big of a movie star. And Eddie Murphy was that in the 80s and 90s. Mm-hmm. Spike Lee felt like Eddie Murphy wasn't doing enough to put black people on, even though he was the highest paid actor in his time for anything that he ever did. And Spike Lee always voiced his opinion of Eddie Murphy not doing enough. Meanwhile, Spike Lee's putting joint after joint after joint of, you know, black cast and black actors, and putting a lot of cult classics, just classics period, not even cult classics, but just classics period. He was doing it. He always felt like Eddie Murphy wasn't doing enough.
But did that make Eddie Murphy any less great?
Exactly. And it didn't, because Eddie Murphy's still great. I would still consider him black excellence.
He's still
but just
black
because
excellent.
he didn't put anyone on doesn't mean that he's just less of, you know?
Yeah, no, he wasn't even just excellent, like he's black excellence, but he was just excellent. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if we're gonna go with that, this dude literally played in a movie where he played like 75% of the characters, and you could not even tell the difference.
It felt like.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the Martins came from, and that's where the Jamie Foxxes came from, and that's where the Living Colors came from, because they saw what we could be. He opened that door. So even though he didn't directly assist the community, he made a space. And I think that as a black person, if that's all you want to do, you should be allowed to do that.
You have that right to do it.
You should be allowed to do that, because if there wasn't an Eddie Murphy, they were still watching dudes be on stand up. You know, they were still only the Richard Pryors or whatever, but like they weren't putting them motherfuckers in movies or whatnot.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
mean,
Richard Pryor was absolutely in movies and doing a lot of different things.
He was all over the place, but what I'm saying is that Eddie Murphy opened it up to a way to where people just saw him as being so cool. Mm-hmm. And what he did was create space. He opened people's mind up. Now, did he put anybody on, bro? No. And he only dated white women.
It's not that he didn't. It's just it wasn't as profound, and it wasn't to the liking of what other people in that area felt like it should have been. Right. You know, and in a lot of cases, I do agree with Spike when it came to that. You know, I do feel like if you are in a position to help and improve someone's life, you know, especially when they look and represent the same things that you do, why not? You should. They should be the top of your list. You know, and that may be favoritism depending on how you look at it. But I do think that black people should put other black people on.
I do think like that too. I think like that. So I think how you think. think that people shouldn't have to feel
but
like
it
feel
shouldn't
how
be
I
a
feel.
pressure. People, I don't think people should have to be pressured into doing so. If
Right.
someone just wants to get rich and just be who they want to be, they have the
Look,
right to
they
do
just
that.
get money. If
Yeah,
somebody
they
just
have
wanna
the right to do
They
that.
should be able to just do that, because we don't say bad babies should really bring up
So-
all of the girls from Pompano that wear the goals and like the vampire.
Is she from Pompano?
But they're not an underrepresented group of people. That's my point.
That's no. You're right. So what I'm saying is that like I
get what you're saying. You're saying that
I
you agree,
100% agree
but if someone doesn't do it, they shouldn't be devalued or anything.
Yeah, they shouldn't be devalued.
Yeah.
They also shouldn't be forced to, because then you
it
get,
wouldn't even be authentic at that point.
I mean, I don't. So here's the thing. I guess I don't think anybody should be really forced to, but I definitely don't have the same. No matter how successful and big you are, no matter how many unintentional doors you open, I just don't have the same respect for somebody who is in a position to bring up their people, but just won't, simply for the fact that they won't.
But
like,
then,
if you legitimately can't, like if you're in a space where you legitimately can't bring your people on yet, like you have no way to, I get that. But if you're in a position to do it and you just don't, it's like, why not?
But how do you explain somebody like Beyonce that didn't do it for the longest time? And I think that was very strategic of Beyonce. When she came in, she was very cookie cutter. She did exactly what white America wanted her to do. And I mean,
Because she probably wasn't in the position to yet.
No, she absolutely was. What she saw was like a bigger picture. It's like, do I want to bring people on and give them $10, or do I want to get myself into the highest echelon and be able to give them $1 million?
I mean, if that's her motive, then yeah, she's still putting people on at the end of the day.
I think that also goes back to know-how. You can have all the good intentions in the world, but if you don't have the know-how or the gumption to where to start from, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you're never gonna get anywhere. You got to know how to start. So I don't fault Beyonce, and I don't think that was a thing, but she had to get to a certain point in her career and to her, to start her own production company and starting to get things to learn how to do things.
If that was her goal, then yeah, I mean, more power to her, because like she had a plan. That was her goal. But I'm saying people who are in a position to do it right now, if they're not working towards doing it like Beyonce was, then what's the point of not doing it?
Just because you might have the funds or the financial gumption, the financial backing to do something, doesn't mean that's always the best way. I mean, I think in part that's how MC Hammer went broke. And it's funny because when you hear him, you listen to him, how he tells it, not that it's wrong or anything like that, but I think it's very interesting. The first thing that he says is like, I didn't just go broke because I was spending money. I went broke because I employed 200 people from my community that looked and felt like me. The problem was that I wasn't getting the return back, and it's not just him, just that company that he started. So it's very important that you need to know how to manage and how to do how to make your money work for you in a way that it's not just profitable but able to maintain it. He unfortunately wasn't, and I think it should be a cautionary tale. We shouldn't be making fun of MC Hammer. I don't think many people are today, but he is the definition of having the resources available, doing what he wants to do, but just not doing it in a way that's beneficial. It wasn't impactful enough. Not that it wasn't enough money, but he didn't have the know-how.
Right.
You got to have the know-how and a plan of action in order to put people on. So I look at Issa Rae and how she's doing it. She's working with I can't remember his last name, but Larry, who was on Comedy Central. He had his own show on Comedy Central.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, she's working with some of the biggest names in the business that's been around for years, and they have the know-how and experience to where she's able to do stuff and put other people on, and they be able to do their own thing as well, and
but
it
Issa
looks
goes
great.
Very slow, and she's always said that. Like I'm gonna go slow because there's so much I don't know. Like y'all watch my productions and y'all see what I have done and writing scripts and stuff. And she does those classes for free, like all of these things she does for free in the Black community. But she's like, what y'all don't understand is that I'm at my best case scenario, so therefore my know-how kind of ran out. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, this is where I thought this was the goal. So I hit the goal too, like, not too early, but early as shit. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to be an MC Hammer. So I want to slow the hell down. I want to learn. I want to work with people. But most importantly to her, she doesn't want to put people on. She wants to create something that everybody can have their own umbrella under and manifest whatever the hell that they want to manifest.
Yep.
So I think that's kind of cool.
Larry Wilmore. Sorry, I had to get it out. Larry Wilmore, because I think he's very talented. He's behind a lot of things that we like in the culture. He's behind a lot of things that we like. Period. Whether it's white America or Black America, he has his hand in. So very similar to how Jordan Peele and Michael Keegan, they were on Mad TV and things like that. Donald Glover behind 30 Rock, which Emmy award-winning series and stuff like that. There's just a lot of things that people have their hands in. The Donald Glovers and Larry Wilmores that they don't get enough. Not that they don't get enough respect. They're just not well known enough, and it should be. And even that, I do think. I feel
like they have enough. They have the notoriety in which that they want, because they have such large platforms that if that's something that they wanted to do, if they wanted to go after notoriety, they very much could do that. It's like so that's it. But I think that I kind of want to close it out by saying I just want to. Even me being at the level that I'm on, which I feel like is very much like starter pack, like starter pack black girl. I'm trying to walk in my purpose, but I just want to encourage Black people this month to just do something. Do something. I don't know what it's gonna be, how it's gonna work out for you. Just pick something that you're kind of afraid of, and even if you're just gonna research it.
I went to crack my neck and it just didn't crack. It just stopped.
Wow, weird. Just do you this month, and as corny as it is, kind of like walking your purpose. Don't be like Shemar. Shemar's like our resident. I'm just playing, but
you see, when it comes to me, she'll let the words fly. But Shemar, she hold back. That's crazy.
That's the lies you tell.
Shauna.
The absolute lies you tell.
I never heard you say anything crazy to Shemar ever.
First of all,
I don't do that.
I don't be doing nothing either, bro. We be in there doing the same thing, just chilling, bro. And she'll come for me. Am I wrong?
Okay. Do you want me to drop the mic? Victor, where the fuck is my creamer?
What you mean? Your creamer's in there.
Didn't you use your creamer today?
I literally used the last drippity drop of it. And what the fuck did you say to me before
Shauna,
you
I had one. That's the only one I had, and there was.
But what did you say?
Lonnie was drinking it.
But what did you say? What did you say?
So what's the next topic?
Oh, okay.
What's the next topic?
I always like the whole point of the podcast was to talk about the different relationships. I really didn't have a topic to circle it around because I try to relate whatever we talk about in bait news to the niche, but I didn't. But Malcolm and Marie really made me think a lot about the fear of regretting the fear of regret of sharing too much with somebody, and then of course them using it against you, things like that. And it sucks because using Malcolm and Marie, they speak about their relationship personally, but I feel like I had relationships with friends where I shared too much, and then they've turned around and thrown it in my face. And
you
stuff
were
like
that
that
person for me, Armand. No.
We can talk about it.
I mean, no, for real. So like,
hey, don't say anything you don't want on the internet, bro.
No.
We can talk about it.
No. So. Like,
I think that's how they started.
Let's talk about it, man. Now they what? Now we're 22 minutes in. Sheesh.
Nah, but okay. So like, Armand always complains about how quiet I am these days, or how reserved I am. Some of that is a learned behavior, and because Armand's one of my longest relationships. And because I've only really had friendship relationships, so like friends they don't really have the opportunity to throw shit in your face. You just have a different dynamic, right? So I told Armand a lot because me and Shemar was raised in the same house, traumatic as fuck, trauma. So we're trauma bonded or whatnot, and I had shared a lot with Armand very early on, which I feel like it was kind of like bad on me. It's somebody outside of my circle, and it's just like I just gravitated to him. So I'm like, oh my god, I want to tell you everything. And I remember this one thing that he said, and it made me it rings in my head to this day, and I'm 30. We've come past it, but I don't know, we were into it, and we were arguing, and
can you share it or no?
I don't remember what we were arguing about, but it was early on, and I was telling you how insecure I was and how I just really didn't want to end our relationship, and I don't understand why you were so hell-bent on ending our relationship. And he was like, you're so, he was like, damn, look at all this stuff in your life, you're so fucking pathetic. And I was just like,
did I actually say that?
You actually said that. You said those words. And I had never felt like so naked, like, because he wasn't like somebody like on the Broward County Transit calling me pathetic, because like you don't know who the fuck you talking to, like you don't know me.
Yeah.
It's somebody that like knows everything about you and chose that descriptive word to describe you. And in all honesty, at the time, I was very pathetic. I felt like I wasn't in a good place with my family.
Was this before or after you moved out?
It was after I moved out.
Okay.
My mom's house.
No,
when I moved there with you, it was kind of when we, and it was very tumultuous, and we were kind of like all over the place. And it was one of those nights. Remember when I used to like stay up all night, and we were kind of like arguing, and
I feel like that was a rough, like there was like 4 or 5 months where
it was
that was all that was.
Yeah, we were fighting every day, and I was in a position to where I felt like I couldn't go home. I mean, I guess I could have gone home.
It was after overseas.
I'm not sure, to
I
be
think
honest.
this is after overseas.
And it was just, I was into it with my family, and I had told Armand that, because I always feel like I'm outside my family, and like he knows that. Like I don't even care if somebody's, like my sisters know that. Like I tell them straight up, like they're a family, and then there's me. And it's funny because my sister said that to me. You know that. And there was an emergency in my family, and my sister was just like, we don't even fuck with you like that. And so this is something that was such a big insecurity of mine. So imagine me not being the person that's in therapy, the person that is deliberate in the way that I feel and I think, and he's saying that to a very raw person. And I feel like as much as he was wrong, I did learn from it. Like I learned, like, I depended on Armand too much, whether it was fiscally, whether it was emotionally. At the time, he had friends, and I was very much outside of Armand's circle, so it depicted how I was actually already in my family, where he had his unit and then there was me. But I was always outside of something. I was never a part of something, and I shared all of those things with him, just feeling so lonely in the world. And his descriptive word for me at the time was pathetic. And I was just like, you know what? I'm never going to like overshare, or I'm never going to say those things again. And I think the second thing, and it came full circle because we got into this really big fight at my baby shower. It was huge. And I remember that was kind of the beginning of me being quiet, because usually I would have engaged with you. Like, you know how I was during the baby shower situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when he said that, it was bad, but kind of like good. But in the time of the baby shower, it was bad, because I felt like he was fighting with me, and I didn't respond. I had Shemar with me too. Like Shemar was there or whatever. Like Armand straight left me in the baby shower. It was crazy. It was like
I couldn't even find the baby shower.
Yeah, it was just
that was the problem. I couldn't find the baby shower.
I know, but then even after the fact, it was just like, it was really bad. He said some trash ass shit, and I just didn't engage. I didn't defend myself. I think I went to my mom's house. I took Shemar there. I spoke to him very little about what transpired, because I did not have no fight left, like, at all. And that's what I told him. I was just like, I had asked him, like, hey, do you mind bringing over some of the stuff? And he was like, nah, I'm never gonna fucking do none of that shit. And I was just like,
I didn't say that.
Nah, you was like,
I just said, I'm not coming back tonight. That's what I said. I was so pissed off. There was nothing good from me being around anyone or anyone.
No, I had asked you if you could, like, because I was really close. I think I was like 30-something weeks pregnant, and my sergeant had ended up bringing me to my mom's house with Shemar that night or whatever. And then I had asked Armand. It could have been a miscommunication as well, because he was just so upset. And I was asking him, like, yo, since I'm at my mom's house right now and the fight was so big, I felt like maybe I should be at my mom's house to have the baby or whatever. So I'm like, all right, can you bring the stuff over here? And he's like, nah, this stuff is going to be at my house. And I'm like, yo, I don't got no job. Like, I can't afford to buy shit for the baby. Like, the stuff that was coming out of the things that your friends purchased for AJ, like, I don't have shit. Like, period. Like, I just don't have shit. And he was just like, nah. And I just said, all right. I was just going to figure it out. I was probably going to talk to my mom and just be like, can you help me? But she would have never let me lift that shit down. But at that point, I just didn't have nothing left.
It was actually Kayla that drove you around too.
Kayla drove me to the baby shower, and then Velmont took me to my mom's house.
There was a lot happening that night. There was a
Absolutely.
lot of side conversation. How that played out. And again, I'm not making excuses, because I do think that this point in our relationship, there was a lot of toxicity. And you guys were young too. You guys what?
He was pretty young.
This was 8 years ago. This was at least 8 years ago.
Yeah,
AJ wasn't born yet. Well, for the baby shower, AJ wasn't born yet. I think for the other stuff, that I feel one night that stands out to me was around the time when I'm trying not to use names here, but there was a time when I think that time was around when things really started going south for us, at least from my standpoint, was the incident with Ivan and his brothers. With one brother. So for me, a lot of things for me, not that I have a warped reality. It's my own warped reality of our relationship, because I feel like for the most part, things were relatively good between us until I got back from Iraq. And there was a lot of things, surrounding circumstances between you and me. And
you had did some fuck shit too.
I did. I did. That I do know. There was just a lot of things, and I think back to my mindset and where I was in that time, and there was just a lot of uncertainty with me, to a point to where I really just felt like I needed to, one, escape, the people closest to me. But not only that, my dynamic with my people, with my friends, were changing drastically, to a point to where it went from having a core of 4 friends to really only having one until I met Jack and Holman and Paul. So things really, for me anyway, it was very volatile. It was just very all over the place. Every day we woke up and we chose violence. And it wasn't even like physical violence. It was just straight up like, what can I do that will set you off? And
it was bad.
We weren't. I don't think I ever woke up and tried to deliberately hurt you, but it was to a point to where certain things were hurt around us, to where anything that we did, it automatically topped the cake.
I feel like the one thing that Armand did that, I guess even it affects me to this day as a 30-year-old walking around, because it does close me off to him. A lot of the time is that, like, he just made it abundantly clear that I was outside of whatever he had created for himself, whatever kind of friends he had, I was just an outsider. And so I started to move like that. So like, I just didn't want to, and even now you see, like, I don't want to affect anybody else. That's still an insecurity. Like, I'm the type of person that, like, I don't want to make noise if I feel like you're sleeping, or I don't want to do anything to
you loud as shit. You don't give a shit if no one's sleeping. People are sleeping.
No, like, I just mean like how I carry myself. Like, Armand just made it abundantly clear, like, bitch, like, it's a no for me, and that's just what it was. And I mean, I don't really feel. I feel like when you do things like that, and especially when you end up with the person, I feel like it would have been a good like learning lesson had we really broke up and like moved on. But when you marry the person, it is complex, because you don't forget that easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only been recent that Armand is like, I feel very much a part of his circle. I have to remind myself of that. Like, I have to remind myself of that moving forward. It's not a natural thing for me. I always felt like I was an annoyance, or and then it was confusing to me when we had the baby, because the baby wasn't planned, right? So we had the baby, and I knew that I was a part of his life now, but at the same time was still trying to like stay like to the side, like I didn't really want to bother him too much, and then that would make him furious. So I would try to plan without him to not inconvenience him, because he made it so clear that I mostly inconvenienced him. And then he would be like, "You're trying to cut me out the baby's life," and I'm like, "No, nigga, like I'm trying to act like we had an unplanned baby. Like I'm just trying to like I literally would put my hands up, and it was for a minute. It took a minute for him to follow suit, and I think that was during the time that I guess I became the most like hurt in our relationship, is when I was actively not engaging, and he was still very much combative. Like, child, I couldn't do nothing right. It was all a problem. I was trash, and that's not what he meant. Like, I know what he means now. We're in therapy and shit, but there was a minute.
There were also a lot of things that transpired between us that I felt like, for the most part, you would deliberately try to like just go out of your way to go against what I was trying to protect you from. I knew that my family in particular was like a certain way. I met you with me telling you, "Yo, I love my family, but my family's not to be trusted, like at all." And I had to prep her to come and meet with the family. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew how they were going to be, right? The first thing that my aunt says is, "Oh, he doesn't usually date black girls. He usually dates fat Spanish women." And then with my mother,
love fat Spanish women.
Huh?
I said I love fat Spanish women.
And then with my mother, talk about, "Oh, I fight people," and just mommy just being combative and shit. And then Lonnie being Lonnie, and I told her, I was like, "Yo, I get it." Especially after you moved in, I remember saying, I was like, "Yo, I get it. You live here now. You want to make do and make friends with my family, but my family's conniving. Don't do that. Stay away from them." And she just kept forging relationships, and for me, I felt like I had to distance myself from Shauna, even though I lived with her and I loved her and we were staying together. There was a part of me. There's a part of me today that I don't fuck with my family like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't fuck with just that older generation of our family. I don't fuck with them like that. And she just kept trying to be on both sides of the fence. So for me, I was defensive that way. And then we had, just the toxicity of just natural relationship shit.
Yeah,
whether she didn't like my friends or she didn't like how I moved around them, whatever the case may be, just natural shit. And then on top of that, I had to deal with it from the family. It was just like, it was too much. It was too much. So there was a lot of toxicity, around it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you now and everything, but
man,
I'm
growing back into the light. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a work in progress out here in these streets.
But for me, that was a real hard stepping stone. Trying to get around the idea that you can be cool with the women in my family, and then expect to be cool with me, because I always felt like that just can't happen. That can't sway.
I'm very cool with, but the thing is that it has to be like that. But like there's boundaries, and it took me a while to step into my own self. Like,
yeah, you don't have boundaries as much as you used to say that things were hard stop and things were a boundary for you. You didn't have any boundaries.
No, because I'm kind of like in certain things. I'm kind of like a bleeding heart at the same time. But then you will see where I had an emergency and your aunt would help me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my family's good for that. But I always felt like that came with a price.
It does come with a price, but I guess I'm just willing to pay it. I just love everybody or whatever like that. I just wish my family loved me too. They do. My family loves me a lot. We just toxic as fuck.
Okay.
Did you guys learn something?
No. So that was a bit.
I want to say I learned. Sorry.
Y'all were there.
Y'all claim that. Oh, shit.
What did I learn from what you guys were just saying?
Not even just saying, but like being around us. Like, do you think Shemar, you weren't around?
The topic really wasn't meant to be about us, but she went and made it that way.
That's what the podcast is, though.
Yeah, you're right.
But it is. It's talking about oversharing. Like,
talk about the relationships in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not always meant to be like, because this time there was things that I shared with people at my job. Some of them I became very close friends with. Talking about you, Miss Aleo. But
you said that girl name wrong.
I did. I do that all the time though. Sometimes I just call her by just a random name altogether. Because Stacy just rolls off the tongue like that. But for there were some things where I used to try to be friends with everyone. And at work, you shared certain things and they use it against you, whether they go back and tell a manager or they go back and tell other people, and they just really just mess up just your entire vibe of what you got at work,
of what you were presenting at work. I concur with that.
Yeah.
I concur. I'll never do that. No, thank you.
What do you mean in that sense?
So the incident I'm talking about in particular, there was a.
Wait, are you saying like you get close with one person in your job and then you share something with them and then they end up telling someone else?
Yep.
Okay. Because, I don't really think that's happened, but like, I know for instance, like, I'm like cool with one person now, but like that's kind of just because we're the only people that's like even close to each other.
Is it my
Like,
dog? Is it my dog? It's my dog. It's my dog.
Because everyone else is either like 17 or like 35. So there's
no happy middle.
So he's the only one like close to my age. So like, we're cool, but like, at the end of the day, he knows the managers way longer than we know each other. So I'm not just gonna like say something crazy about one of them when potentially he's probably just gonna go say it back to them. So I don't really say too much regarding that.
Yeah, I mean, at work, I would say I have a slightly different personality at work than what I do today.
No, I definitely do.
I'm very, very like clean cut, like extremely professional, and it's almost comical because y'all see how silly I am. Nobody at my job would ever describe me that way. They describe me as mean, militant, very like stern. Yeah. Always following the rules.
I think it's funny that you guys are talking about this because I think I'm actually the person on the other end. And this has happened. I've only had I'm only 20. I've had like 4 jobs, right? But at every single job, or actually 5, but at every single job, I've always been the person that people overshare to, like people that I just met. And at the current job, it's the same. I know a lot about everybody. Like I know things I definitely shouldn't know about a lot of people.
You keep it to yourself. You're not sitting there sharing it with everyone, right?
Nah. So that goes into like how Shauna said she's a different character. I'm a different character too. So at work I'm like like I said it last podcast. I'm like the cool manager. That's why everybody shares everything with me. But I'm also very like strict and stoic, and I always have my deep voice on. So the
fact that you have a deep voice.
So they call me for everything. So we had this lady the other day. She was asking customers for money, right? So the first thing dude does is come up to me. He's like, "Hey man, she's asking for money, man." I'm like, "Okay, I got this." I head over there. I'm like, "Excuse me, ma'am." Put on my deal. Ma'am, excuse me. Can I talk to you real quick? And she's like, "Oh, what happened, sir?" And she's like, "Are you the manager?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the manager on duty." I had to sort of ask straight, bro. But yeah, so like I'm like,
and your voice cracking, you're like, "Hey, get on my face,
bro." I remember one time my voice cracked on the intercom, bro, over the whole store. I was like, "Can never, bro." It was bad.
No, you guys are terrible.
It was
Where did that
bad.
deep voice come from?
So I've always hated my voice up until forever, and then when I turned like when I turned like 18, I don't know why, I just woke up, my balls dropped, and then I was just like, I woke up, you get that wake up voice,
Victor.
man. I woke up, I said, "This nigga breathing." I was like, whoa. As soon as I found out I had a deep voice, man, I just talk to the hoes like that. I talked to this one
girl. I have a
girl.
deep voice. I don't.
Yo,
I sound like Tweety Bird all the time.
I think that if I could change one thing, it'll probably be your voice.
I sound like Tweety Bird all the time. But that's probably where I have. That's why I have to be so intense all the time.
Bro,
so people take me seriously.
I'm
not fucking Tweety. Okay.
as soon as I got my deep voice, there's this girl that I was talking to, and I started acting different. I started talking to her different. I was using the deep voice, and she just flat out said, she was like, "You don't talk to me like that." And I was like, "I do now." She never talked to me again.
I do now.
But like Victor's always like, "Yeah, there's just one girl," and I'm just like, "Yo, it's the same girl." Like
it's
Victor
not.
does not.
Look, no. Here's the thing. So my friends make jokes, right? Mm-hmm. They say that I don't like black women. My issue is not that I don't like black women. It's that Latino women and white women love me, and black women don't love me, bro. I'm talking.
You know what? We need to talk about that. That's a serious. That's a serious conversation because that's like I said.
We argue about it all.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't date black women, but I was attracted to people that found me attractive.
Exactly,
and
bro.
For some reason, people, they just happen to be.
I love dark skinned women, but they don't fuck with me.
Wait. So first of all, segueing. right? Because this shit threw me the fuck off, right? So I hit Simone up. Simone's my sister. So I hit her up and I'm like, hey, yo, call me back because I got something to talk to you about, whatever. Like, you know, it's about Shemar. So she, crazy. So then she calls me and she's like, literally, she calls me and she's like, this is weeks ago. And she's like, is Shemar having a baby? I'm like,
Maybe.
a baby? I was like, bitch, whatever gave you the inkling? She's like, oh, I'm like, what the fuck do you think he's doing here?
Were you a lady killer in Broward?
No, like, what the fuck?
I was a stay-at-home civilian.
Like, this man was
That's hard. That's hard.
No, because okay. So here's the thing. The reason why I had called her because I was just like, Shemar had wanted to learn about weapons, right? But like my whole family, like they mad scary, like they be hugging trees and they be like, oh my god, liberation. So like I was just like, okay, you know, Simone, like tell me because you know what I'm saying. I want to let this motherfucker like have a bazooka or whatever, like that, like what you think. And she was just like,
I just want to go to the range for
she was
one
like,
time.
she was like, I just.
If you find an open,
You never
range,
been to the
I'll
range?
take you.
There's a range literally like right there.
There's a range on Boot Club, but
Yeah.
I'm a little salty on that range.
You never took him
because-
to the range in Florida?
No. Mm-mm.
Really?
He never wanted to. Well, not that he never wanted to. I don't know. I think we never really had the opportunity to.
Yeah,
Because you went to New York for a couple of years.
Yeah.
While we were
Yeah.
still in Florida. So, yeah, no.
Also, like my mom barely allows anyone to talk
Come
to
out
him.
there. Yeah, and
plus,
then when he was in
Shemar
Florida, he
does
wasn't
have a
allowed at the
girlfriend.
house.
Like he absolutely has a girlfriend. Her name is the pool.
Oh
No,
my
her
god,
name
this
is
nigga is
Puliana.
committed.
The
yeah.
Committed to that
Committed.
pool,
It didn't matter what
bitch.
time of day it was. It
Yeah.
didn't matter what day of the week it was.
The weather,
holidays, weather.
nothing.
They're in
Shemar was
love.
out there cleaning that pool. Puliana.
You know how like, I guess maybe like in, I guess the Middle East, it'll be like you know, the parents set up who the child's gonna date. Yeah, basically my mom was like, yeah, you better just get to know that pool.
Oh, crazy. Boy, in an arranged marriage with the pool,
I've been
man.
saying that since Shamar's been,
This
what,
is
13
who
probably?
That
Shemar
shit is
supposed
funny.
to be with. So the
Crazy part
fact
is,
that
like I spend more time cleaning that pool than actually in it. That was just
I remember you told me that one time. You was like, I don't even use that damn pool. I was like,
No, for real.
I probably haven't one.
Out of the 12 years we've been together, I think we've all used that pool collectively maybe twice in a half.
I've never
No.
used it.
And in two of those times were when AJ was born.
listen.
Definitely.
So my mom is like, you need to go to the house because I'm sending Shemar to Home Depot for the pool. I'm like, the pool, and then make it so bad. So then I freaking call. I'm talking to Simone. I'm trying to talk to this bitch about gun control, and she's like, I just need to calm down right now because I just thought like, I'm not sure like what you guys do up there or whatever, but like I just really thought that maybe Shemar be having a kid because she's like, that would be really bad. And I'm
Why
like,
would that be bad?
this nigga is like 568 years old, and bitch, I'm trying to talk to you about gun control. Like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga trying to be.
Wait,
out
why
here
she say I don't know what y'all do up there?
like,
Like we trying to like put him on to have a kid or something.
That's weird.
It was
do
just.
that.
Listen, I could care less. I love children, but please don't bring them here.
Oh man, my kid gonna be AJ best friend, bro.
Whoa, your kid's not allowed here.
They're gonna share a room and everything.
No, but like I always
We
joke,
barely like him, okay? Much
barely
less.
barely like AJ, and it's like wait, I saw something and it was like it really threw me off, and I think you could probably relate to this. So like they were like, oh, what's the most surprising thing that people don't tell you about labor? And I'm like, yo, that they expect you to take the baby home. Like, you have the baby, nobody told you nothing. You don't gotta take no classes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no ownership ceremony.
No.
And then the motherfucker like they all wrinkled and shit
And ugly.
and ugly.
Like,
And then they're like, oh, you gotta take them home. And I'm like, yo, for real, we can't like come back and get them, like, we can't have like a trial period. Like, you literally go from absolute, and then they're like, oh, and by the way, like they gotta stay alive and like be full and stuff. Like, you gotta lotion them.
You gotta feed them. You gotta put clothes on them when niggas.
Like what? I'm like,
me
you
tell you,
gotta keep them
it
in
was
a
not a
climate
good thing.
controlled area. And I'm like, yo, like what do you mean? And I'm like, yo, so I gotta go take care of myself, like, you know what I'm saying, like, my boobs is real hard, and like my coochie hurt or whatever, and like you gonna try to tell me that like you gotta bring the baby home? Yo, you crazy? These people's is bugging. And then I told it. Remember the nurse gave me a shower right before we went home, and I was in the shower like, yo, ma'am, you don't want to do this.
Do what?
You don't want to send her home with a baby.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to do, like, she's like, and then what this bitch said? She was like, if the crying continues, you're gonna have to come back. And I was just like, I'm crying because y'all told me I gotta go home with him. So then I called my mom, right? So I'm like, Mom, don't let me go home with our mom, yo, like, because I got a baby. And like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then she's like, you make up your bed, you offer lay down your night. And I'm like, so this nigga finna die? Like,
That's tough.
it was crazy. And Armand knows this.
She said, deal with it.
She was like,
That's tough.
literally, that's what my mother said. Because I was just like, first of all, I tried to convince the hospital staff, like, bitch, don't do this. Don't do this. You care about this baby. You went out, you see how little he is and everything like that. Don't let me do this. And then she was just like, no, this is like your baby. And I was like, bitch, is you sure? So then my mama came or whatever, and I was just like, yo, all right, Armand, you could take my car with Lonnie to the house, right? And then I could just go live with my mom. Because
What?
I got a date. No,
it was a weird time in our relationship.
You think that until you have a kid, and they're like,
wish that on me.
oh, you can just take it home, and you're like, yo, word? Like,
Yeah,
no questions?
You assuming I'm finna beat her when you're born? Woo. I'm about to pull a Cardi, man. I'm about to pull a Cardi. I'm gonna be somewhere else, man.
But that shit was, first of all, Armand almost passed out, right? Because they was checking me for dilation, and
Oh
the
my
doctor
God.
was like, yeah, we're getting ready to have a baby.
She's not doing it
and
any
Armand-
justice. In order for them to check to see if the women are dilated from the cervix, they have to stick their hand. They like the
Whole
entire
hand.
hand.
I ain't
They
feel
have
nothing.
they put on a glove.
You didn't
that
feel
goes-
it?
No.
They put on a glove that
I had
goes
enough
like
nerve.
all the way past their elbow.
Yeah.
So then he goes, sticks his hand
All
in there.
facts.
Oh, you're not ready yet. And he pulls out.
Don't
and
say
it's
it,
just
don't
like-
say it.
It's just like what it was, a placenta. I don't know what it was.
It was
It's just slime.
stuff.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
and he's like shaking it off, and he's like,
like,
Dad, you gotta hold her leg
almost-
open. I'm like,
Dad, you got a what?
because I was
No,
in the room. I had to
Nigga, why you in the room?
No,
Stand
no,
outside.
I had to hold her
but
leg.
Then, but then obviously Armand is like in distress, right? So
That's what the
doctor's
nurse is
like,
for.
Are you okay?
like,
Because-
No, nigga.
I don't know what the hell
You just put
pulled
your
out of
whole
it.
arm in my wife, bro. No. No.
Armand,
It was what came out. I'm like, nothing ever came out of there like that. Like, it was distressing.
he was like,
Did you eat the placenta?
No, we
I heard white people
we
do
don't
that.
do those white people.
I heard white people would be like,
Stop it. Cut it out.
Like, no, real shit. If I had like different, like if I had a baby like now, I would do that shit. I would definitely do that shit.
I'm not letting her do that shit. Don't worry.
no, I honestly want to know why. What's the benefit?
It's really good for you because after
Good for you?
after you have the baby or whatever, like that placenta had a bunch of hormones in it, and I know y'all don't know what the hell that.
You're eating
feels
your
like.
hormones back?
Yeah, because when you have the baby, you cry a lot. Like they don't tell you
She
that.
did.
You cry a whole lot.
Postpartum depression.
Yeah, like
It's a
baby
real
blues,
thing.
like you cry, like, and I just would cry all the time, and that was normal.
It's fucking
Supposedly
disgusting. I'm
eating
not eating my
placenta,
goddamn
you-
placenta.
you
Eating
keep
the
that stuff
placenta.
back.
How big is it?
I don't know.
Enough, big enough to hold a baby.
Yeah, like I don't really
Huh?
know. what
Like
it
that
looks
entire
like.
sack. That like think about it, babies come out like.
Wait, I thought a
6 to 10
placenta was like
pounds.
this.
No, it's like it's
So what
literally
the?
like
You
3
just
or
pick it
4
like a
pounds.
sandwich? Like what? What is what?
You wanna
What?
see a placenta?
No.
No.
It's like on a plate and you just.
We are not
What
that
the
type of
fuck?
podcast. We are not that type of podcast.
Nah, but yeah, so that's what it was. But Armand was like, he looked like he turned another color when that man
was
checked me for
gross.
that. He was like, "Are you okay, Dad?" And Armand was kind of like swaying, because he was like, "Yeah, we're almost ready to have a baby."
Yep.
And Armand was like,
You know, and then he has to peel the glove back from
I
like
didn't feel
here,
nothing.
Take it off. I'm just like,
"It was fine. I didn't feel anything."
Wait, so you had to hold her legs open while they delivered the baby?
well, not both, but one side. And nurse
One
was on the other
side,
side.
and the nurse was on the other side.
Couldn't they just get another nurse?
Well, we were waiting for her to get dilated. She never got dilated. It turns out that AZ had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck because he was bad in the womb.
Yeah.
So she had to have a C-section.
Yeah.
And then all the bad beef between her and Yvan went out the window because the only person she wanted in the room with her was Yvan.
Why?
Because I just didn't feel, pregnancy makes you very irrational. Labor makes you extremely irrational. And plus, I labored a lot by myself. Because I was dilated when I went to my last appointment. He was like, "Oh, you could just go across the street to the hospital." And I was like, "No, because I have a birth plan, so I'm going to go home." And
She didn't sleep that entire night.
it
Kept me up.
hurt.
And finally, at 5:30 in the morning, I said, "Shauna, if you want to go to the hospital, we can go to the hospital.
I was like,
let me know before I get myself in the shower and go to
that
work."
was me all night.
And she's like, "All right, fine, we can go." So we go there. We get there at 6:30 in the morning, and we're there at 9:44 at night before this little nigga decided to
Yeah,
come
he was
out.
born at 9:44.
I read that the female brain was programmed to forget the pain of childbirth after a few months.
And then also, there's something that also plays tricks on you, which is fucking trash. I'm glad I'm teaching you guys this. Yo, the shit is weird. So, like, you're crying a lot, but when you feed the baby, you feel happy. And I never knew what it was. And I actually ended up looking it up because it's such a feeling of euphoria. You
Maternal instinct, right?
Yeah, but like I looked it up and they were like, oh, you release serotonin or something, a happy hormone, and it's low key so you won't kill the baby.
Yeah, that's fire.
She was crazy.
Did we already talk about your fears of oversharing?
Shemar doesn't talk.
What is oversharing?
What is oversharing? So let's say you tell me something in confidence about them, and then I go and tell them, and then they come in. Okay. Wow.
Like I said,
See, that's the perfect.
That's
example.
oversharing, bro. Has someone ever put your business out there that you did not want?
Well, I mean, at that point, I didn't tell her that. She just witnessed it. So it just
You walked outside and he was just shitting?
Listen. Okay, quick. Real quick.
Yeah, you gotta tell the story. You gotta tell the story. You gotta give me justification. Because if you wasn't camping, why are you shitting outside?
I was probably like,
Nigga, you was grown. Okay.
It was at 10.
You was definitely grown.
Sorry, I peed in the sink. Never mind. Go ahead.
yeah. So I was 10. We were playing outside. I was like, I guess it just came over. I was like, man, use the bathroom. I was knocking on that door. You know, Amanda was inside. I was knocking on the door. She ain't coming quick enough.
Man.
So I said,
Oh, okay. That's justifiable.
Man, it's not
See, me?
justifiable. No.
Look, I have...
see my mama house and see that there was no type of nothing
I think there was
covering.
a little shrubbery. Probably a little
That was that shrubbery.
No.
Nigga, it's a bush.
It probably wasn't even that. It was probably like one of those little three little leaf plants
Yeah.
in the ground.
And you know, she had a dog.
Decorative planting.
Nah, that one.
You just throw some
Was it in the dirt or was it on concrete?
It was in the dirt, and you just throw some dirt over it.
At least you covered it. You was actually very civil about. See me, I peed in the kitchen sink when I was in like elementary or middle school.
I don't know if you can see this, but it's townhome, so it's like a strip, right? But there's nothing there. Like, I don't even know how else to show.
Okay, what was his other option? Shit himself? Because I did that too. Man, I shit myself. I shit myself in school.
This is a much better picture. He shit outside the door. What covering is there?
Damn.
You see how it got this like little like.
No, that's not no shrubbery. This nigga straight shit outside. And then he told my son he covered it. First of all, that's a lie. Because when the first person opened the door, I don't know if like it was like Shemar, the shit came out his ass and it was like calling all flies. But you couldn't even see the shit no more. And it was like flies all over it. And so when the flies hit,
God damn.
like the person that opened the door, it was literally shit flies that hit the person's face when they opened the door. It was the worst story ever. But you know what? He got the freaking payback. Because remember that time you fell off that bike and almost drowned that little pool in the middle of the street? Yeah, he got that.
A pool or a puddle?
Okay, so I guess this is your regret of oversharing then.
Nah, but that's not sharing. She's a witness. She's just a witness for everything.
Just a witness for everything.
Yeah.
So you never shared something with someone and you regretted it?
I explained it like a few podcasts ago.
That's right.
Where I was staying at someone's house. I was like, yo, I don't want to. I really don't like washing these dishes.
Oh yeah.
And then her and the other person left, and they came back, and she came back screaming at me because I thought she was gonna be like, okay, you know what, I'll talk to her, and she's gonna be like, maybe Shemar doesn't have to do the dishes every night. You know, something civil.
But civil.
But then she probably went to her and be like, why Shemar washing those dishes every night? You know, you got that other boy in there to wash the dishes. So I imagine that's how that went.
Okay. I peep.
So from that moment on, I don't just be telling people stuff.
You just don't tell people shit?
First of all, we have to have a whole podcast about Shemar, because though he is quiet, he might very well be like all of the shit happens to Shemar. I feel like he is a shit happened to me magnet, and I feel like the universe has this happen because he's so quiet. Remember that time you had to wear that diaper when you was 8?
Why?
All right. Let's stop talking about Shemar for something crazy. Let's just stop talking about Shemar, bro. She gonna keep going, bro.
Keep going.
She's gonna keep going.
Like so much stuff. Like, first of all, Shemar never really had that great health insurance, and it was just like his body was like, all right, bet.
You used to be
And
shit.
there's been a few times where literally Nicole will call my mom like, "Yeah, this nigga's gonna die. Like, we gotta do something about this." So he's just like, he don't talk, but like a lot of shit that happens.
It's gonna make my comment that much sweeter.
That boy gonna write a book. It's gonna be fire.
Man, that shit was it was literally crazy. Like he don't talk.
Bro, messed me up. I don't talk too much after that.
No, like seriously.
World got his heart cold. That's tough.
Man, it was crazy. We gotta have a whole podcast about Shemar because, like he said, I don't know why I was a witness, but I was definitely a witness.
How old are you? 24, 22, 23?
He's 22, 2 years older than me.
22. Okay.
30 right around the corner. Sad.
Not really. You got some time.
Yeah, you got, trust me, you got a lot of time,
I
dude.
remember.
I got some time.
I didn't know,
It took me forever to hit 20, bitch. I feel like I'm done.
Really?
Look, everybody said time fly. That shit is cap, bro. I deadass feel like I lived my whole life already. Like, I'm already 20, bro. I'm sick of this
Heart
shit.
attack and then a year after I had a baby. That shit was trash.
Yeah, this
You
shit
did.
sucks.
Yeah, you did. We spent watching Super Bowl. Speaking of Super Bowl, tomorrow, watching the Super Bowl in the hospital room.
Yeah, we watched Super Bowl in the hospital, and that was that's how I found out I had tachycardia. That shit was crazy. And then literally the next year, because that was February, and then the next year I had a baby.
Yeah.
It was like 2
Little
back to
Bruce
back.
Wayne. That's what his name should have been.
That would have been a really cool fucking name.
No, it would not.
It would
Should have
have
been hard.
It would have been. She wanted to name him Jayson.
That whack ass. I'll slap that boy every day if he was named Jason.
Jayson.
Jason is Xavier.
Is he gonna steal my name too? That's
I
wild. That's
why I didn't
wild.
name him that because I was like, and at the time, like Victor was.
She
so-
told me that, and I was like, "You want to name him after Victor?" And she
And
was
I was
like,
like,
"How
You should have did that. He would
I
have
was
been so
like, Victor's
geeked.
name is Victor Nazir Xavier.
And I remember
It
I was
is
like
literally
passing
his
by
name.
like the apartments y'all used to live in. And I was like, I don't even like Victor. I was like, he runs with his hand behind his fucking back.
Man, I was the coolest kid alive, bro.
I was like, I can't stand that
She
kid.
was like Jason Xavier. I was like, "You want to name him the wackest name, and then after my brother?"
That
Like,
shit
I
no.
didn't even like him.
And you see the way he is now. Imagine if we had the same
I know
name.
Victor's full name.
I know he had to tell me, and then I was just like, all right,
This is
forget it.
Victor
But we
Nazir
definitely keeping Jason.
Xavier.
I was like, definitely keeping.
You do
Jason.
got a cool name though. I ain't gonna lie.
I know my shit cool. My shit cool as hell.
Absolutely.
And my
Xavier
initials,
is
my
cool as
initials
fuck.
look cool as hell too.
Yeah.
VXB. That shit looks so fire.
Oh man,
That shit looks so fire.
Yeah.
That's
No,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
But yours just stands for BS.
Literally, my initials is B.
Bullshit.
Damn.
No, but literally, like when I went to basic training, like all that shit, I never not heard that. Like,
Really?
No, I always my whole life. Do you know what your initials mean?
No, I don't. Please tell me.
Please do it again. No, I just been walking around with it. I have no idea my initials is BS. That's crazy. And then Lonnie decided that we were meant to be because my middle name is Marie.
Oh.
Very stupid.
Her middle name's Taj Marie.
Taja Marie. But America, the colonizer, they did not want me to keep my corrected birth name.
We sitting here giving out all our personal information.
I was just saying that. I was like, shit, you just said the
Someone
whole
here was
government
shaking
before.
all our bank accounts, all
Facts,
our maiden
bruh.
names and shit.
You can have all 32 cents,
I
bro.
bank with.
Yeah, shit. You can have all 32 cents, bro. Shit. You got shit to steal, bitch.
No, that's literally what the fuck I said. I was just like, man, okay.
Might as well throw out one of my socials.
Shit, right? Hey, one of the 32, man. What you know?
Yeah, crazy.
So you want to finish it up?
Yeah, man, let's get into stems and sets, man. We've been talking about a lot of shit and ain't nothing. Stems and sets, man. This week wasn't a bad week, but I really ain't got nothing for stem or set. Like, it was just a week.
It was
The week ended
week to me, but I do got a stem instead this week.
Go ahead.
My stem, I guess no, maybe I go with my sed first. Is still kind of not having the decision on my contract. And then the good thing, I guess, is just all the shit I'm getting ready to do to Victor, so pretty cool.
What you got, Shemar?
Said, I mean, I don't really know.
This
Like,
man's-
not like for said, like nothing really bad happened. Or I guess maybe sometimes something bad happened, but
It's
I kind of
because
just
of
brush it
my
off.
it's because of my protection.
Anyway, stem. And then not gonna lie, I got blessed on Friday with them stocks. That's about it.
Oh,
Got
okay.
blessed, so you know.
Not bad. I'm not.
What happened? You bought more stocks?
Yeah, how much your
or-
portfolio went up?
It'd be like
Per
Actually,
Yeah, percent wise.
You
Because
right.
my shit went up too.
Yeah, you right, man.
I don't know what they're talking about. I can't relate.
No. I mean, our stock just this week alone. My stock, what I got in stocks, went up 15% just this week alone.
My shit went up 22, bro. We up, bro. We up right now.
Yeah.
Bro, you got
That's a
Dogecoin.
I got more than Dogecoin.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about actual stocks.
Yeah, like real shit.
My stocks went up this week.
I think everything was progressing, honestly.
Yeah.
Like just in general, because Dre is getting into what's it called? He's getting into the stock shit too, and he said that like just all around it was looking good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I didn't even know it ended on a high note like this. Damn, that's a good. That's my stem. Made 15%. I went up 15% in stocks this
Oh,
week.
look at Shemar being communal.
so said.
No, I don't
No said.
That's
know.
great.
No, other than like eventually, no. That's it.
That's me. He was the one talk shit about his mom. No, I'm just playing. I just made that shit up. Wow, I just made that shit up. I made it up. I just made it up. That's not true. That's not true. Lord Jesus.
Well, my stem for this week. I finally pulled the 5-star in Genshin Impact. My first 5-star.
I didn't witness
For people who don't know what that means, basically something that only has a 0.25 or 0.112% chance of happening happened to me yesterday. So and I've been, and it's the exact thing that I wanted that I've been waiting for. Huh?
Where was I?
I don't know, probably at work or something. I'll show you the character though. I put
Yeah.
it on my story too. But
and he sent me and our sister
a picture too.
of it too. So
Yeah, like I'm so that's definitely my step. That put me in a good mood. And then my said, what's my said? I mean, honestly, I don't know. I have a pretty positive outlook, so it takes a lot for me to really be down. Yeah, I don't got nothing to be down. I mean, what's there to be down about?
That's crazy.
Look-
Don't
let's-
you worry about it.
look at that.
You won't have one next
Sean, I think you
time.
underestimate my defense mechanism of my
One
God complex.
Next time. Don't even worry about that.
I just realized we ain't got no milk, and all I want is a bowl of cereal.
And I got some donuts and Twizzlers too. It's a beautiful week, man.
Wow. Still don't got no creamer though. Wow.
Whew. All right, so let's wrap it up. Everybody good?
Nah,
Good?
we gotta do a rant, man. Anyone
I
got a
don't
rant?
got no rant.
Actually, yeah. Can I rant?
You go
What
ahead.
You was talking about this movie before, this Marie and Mason or whatever.
Malcolm and Marie, yes.
I don't get it. That shit look. It's just two people arguing the whole movie. I
No,
don't
it's
fucking
not.
get
It's
it.
deeper than that. It's deeper than that.
You
It really is deeper than
claim
that.
that, but what is it?
Agreed.
Well, one, I think you should watch the movie. So, spoiler alert: Malcolm and Marie is about it's a moment in time in this particular couple's relationship. It stems around the night of his movie premiere, and what you learn throughout their different arguments that they have throughout the night is that one, he's narcissistic as shit. Two, he is dealing with someone that actually helped him write a story about her life and how there was a lot of broken promises and said things that were supposed to happen between them that didn't. So really, it just really highlights the impact of just relationships. It's not a comedy. It's not like a rom-com. It's not romantic. It's not a rom-com. There's no drama. There's no suspense or anything like that. But the cinematography behind it is amazing. The acting behind it is amazing. It's a movie about existence.
I could agree with all of that, but that shit looks like I will.
It's a movie about
never
existence.
watch it.
For me, I gravitated towards it one because of Zendaya, right? I gravitate towards anything that she's in.
Yes, God.
And then of course John Washington.
She's an
I'm sorry, he has another name, but John Washington. He's Denzel Washington's son, another phenomenal actor.
He did a great job.
I was looking at him. Is that the guy that was in Tenet?
Yep.
I've been watching.
I want to watch that movie. I don't have an HBO Max yet.
Wait, what's it called? I watched it
We would
from
like to
somewhere.
ask.
I think I watched it from the Xfinity.
You watched Tenet?
Yeah, like
Did you
literally
buy
last
it?
week. Oh, actually, I did buy it from YouTube. Actually, I bought it from
Oh,
YouTube and I
damn.
watched it.
Well, I
Out
gotta
here
watch it.
spending
But
money
it's one of the few movies that
That's
is
crazy.
just about
No,
existence.
I'm not gonna say that.
It's just about the movie.
Yeah,
it's just about existence. And for me, especially in the space that I'm in now, I've been having a hard time just trying to exist. So watching a movie just about existence is for me just what I needed.
No, he seems like you really liked it, and it looks like it's phenomenal acting. It's shot beautifully, like just all of the ways and the angles in which it shoot to, and it's even in black and white. Nothing draws your attention, so you have no other recourse than to pay attention to what the character.
Nothing draws your attention, and they walk around in panties. What are you talking about?
Wow,
that was for a very short time in the movie,
and that's the only scene I caught. I seen that shit, I was like, "What's this?" Well, that movie I did not care before.
We talked about our toxicity in our relationship. They put us to shame, and we were real life. So
that's what I don't understand. What is this claim that it's about existence?
I couldn't relate to anything that he was like as a man's perspective. I couldn't relate to him, because I just don't have that kind of personality that he has. And I couldn't relate to where she was coming from too, because she plays a young lady who struggled with addiction and went to rehab, and he was there every step of the way. But the movie that he wrote about, that is actually the subject of it, is based on her life, and he didn't thank her, and it just highlighted just the little things, and someone that likes to point out little things.
That's me.
Yeah, it just showed you how something so little as a thank you could have avoided so much heartache and just anger.
Yeah,
because
a lot could have avoided what you had to go through. Don't even worry about it.
It just avoided a lot of anger.
About it,
so
sweetheart.
I do think that it's just about existence. It's just about not them existing, but just them living that moment in time in their life and just seeing it. It's meant to humanize, which it does very well. But you watch all of the range of emotions that go into it.
Yeah, because they were trying to have sex with me, and I was like, what the
It's not cliche at all, but it's very, it still felt relatable. Even though I couldn't relate to any of the characters personally, it felt like all the emotions that they were going through that night, it felt relatable.
I can't relate
because I remember being up arguing from 11 p.m.
all night, but at the same time,
5:30 a.m.
When I lay my ass down, and if your pinky toe touch me, bitch, I'm mad all over again. What we not getting ready to do is I couldn't relate to the range of emotion. It was too short period of a time. I don't turn on and off like that. I'm very much a stay in the same mood forever type of person.
It wasn't always like that.
Exactly.
It wasn't always like that.
He ruined me, you guys.
No, I didn't. You ruined your damn self.
Yeah.
But it's just a movie about existing, and just it's very it feels very human, even though that even the characters that they play are larger than life. There you talk about a director and an actor, that live in this time period, but even that it just showed a lot of human emotion in a way that it just feels relatable.
Right.
And like the character, John Washington's character, he uses music to communicate with Zendaya's character, and I remember being that way at one point in my life, where a lot of music was was a direct representation of how I felt. It was a direct way of communicating to certain people.
100%
So I remember even I remember just feeling that. And then there's other parts where I remember being asked those questions of, I got one more question. I don't want you to be mad about it, and I just knew that I was about to be mad about it. So, not even with you, just in relationships in general.
No, I am like that. I am the type of person that we have reached a resolution, but I choose violence. So, I just got one more question.
I don't know.
It's a good movie.
I can't relate because I don't value those things. So it doesn't really It doesn't really. I don't think it can resonate with me. I don't value anything to do with human interaction. So I think if I watched it, to me it would only come off as just senseless bickering. To where everything you said could be true.
You should watch it and see and just see how it feels.
But that's the thing. I don't think it would, because I said,
me watching it, I didn't feel anything watching it. But to me, it was just a nice. It was a different representation. It was just a different representation of something that you just don't see in movies.
No, yeah, but that's what I said. If you value those things, that's what I'm saying. Like you said even though you couldn't relate to the characters, you appreciate how real it was, right? Whereas to me, as someone who doesn't value those things, I can look at it, and no matter how real it seems, it still has no meaning to me. So even when I was just hearing it in the background, I was listening to what they were arguing about and the stuff they were saying. And I was like,
Did you listen to it from the beginning though?
No, but
Because
it doesn't.
Every argument that they said related to something.
No.
It was just like each time they argued.
The one part I really hung on to was when she was talking about, oh, you didn't thank me for a movie that was about me, and then he was like, well, it's not only about you. Every aspect of that movie is from a part of my life. And he was talking about the previous women he'd been with and the different aspects of his life that contributed to the movie. How it wasn't just solely her. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. Maybe, but
because you just listening to it. What you don't see is what led him to that point. You know, because that was his rebuttal to what she had said beforehand. Because they were just really just trying to win. Like each one, you could tell they were just trying to win the argument, and each one had a valid and a great point that they ended with. And then you would see them separate, and then when they came back together, it was the other foot was on the other foot dropped.
No,
so
but
that part of the argument was him, just completely destroying her, and then They separate again, and she comes back, and she completely destroys him.
No, but see, then for me, it's like the only reason why I say when Victor says I don't think I should watch it, or I'm not really interested. I don't even say that because he doesn't have the range, because I feel like there's certain things that I don't have the range for. But the one thing that him and I very much are similar in is being like, I can almost tell when something is for me, or even if it's like a snippet, and I can be like, oh, that's cool, but like.
I feel like I've always had that. Like I think of myself as in fact, not think of myself. I know I am probably the most open-minded person you'll ever meet, but I can always tell when I will have interest in something and when I won't. Like
it's like you have a deep connection with yourself.
Yeah, I know myself. I know myself. I know the way I think. I know what I value and what I don't value. I know what I care for, what I don't care for. Yeah. There's never been a point in my life to where there's been something I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I like this. Like, I know if I'm going to like something.
I can definitely relate. And Armand says that all the time, which is something that I think that sometimes you say you can't relate to that, where like I just have a deep sense of who I am. It's from something that's very shallow to all the way to something that has immense depth.
Yeah.
I can tell from a moment whether it's for me, whether it's not for me, if I'm going to enjoy it, if I like it. But then again, I'm also on the shoes on the other foot for me, where I could care less what other people like, in the sense of I'm not going to say because I enjoy this that somebody must enjoy that. So I'm very open to how other people feel, but I'm not easily moved.
Yeah.
If I like it, I like it, and if I don't, I probably never will.
Yeah. Well, I think people should go watch it, because I watch tons of shit that just don't interest me, or whatever the case may be, and I just give it a chance just to see maybe I could find interest in it.
I've been really into QAnon lately.
But
into what?
QAnon. I don't even believe it. It's just like
she's just been watching
different
so analysis and documentaries.
Yeah, documentaries and analysis of it.
Because like again, this kind of movie is not something I watch. Like I like the explosions and the action flicks, sci-fi, horror.
I hate sci-fi. This shit is so boring.
I respect these two actors enough to where I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. And just in the opening 5 minutes, I knew I was like, I got to see this through, no matter how toxic, because it's like within 10 minutes he calls her psychotic, and I was like, you don't do that in relationships. I can't imagine I called you pathetic, but I don't think I could call you psychotic.
I was about to say,
and that was in the first 10 minutes of it, and you're like, all right, what the fuck's happening?
But to me, it's same.
And then she goes, she goes right back at him, and then for me, like I'm always usually on the side of women when it comes to that male female dynamic.
Yeah, me too. I'm a huge simp.
There were times where I couldn't decide who was who was the victim in it, because they were out to hurt each other.
Well, I think it's obvious in that situation. There's no clear cut victim.
No, but that's the thing, right? Because in movies, there's always a villain, there's always a hero.
Oh yeah,
and this wasn't meant to be like that. It was just meant to be. Yeah,
there's not a lot of art like that, because in order for a plot to move on, you need to clearly have a protagonist. You need clearly have
an enemy of progress.
There was
there
was none of that.
To move the plot along.
There's no one, like one of them wasn't the victim and one of them wasn't the perpetrator. They were just very much on even playing field.
Yeah.
Not really. If you dive into the dynamics of it, the director's always above the actor, but for the most part, in their relationship, we're just looking at their relationship for the moments that they shared throughout the film. This all takes place in one night in one case. Like they were the only two people in this entire movie.
Yeah.
The only faces that you see, the only voices that you hear, it was just
like
them.
that.
And for me, I couldn't figure out if I was supposed to feel like by the end of the movie, I didn't feel bad for either of them. I didn't feel good for either of them. I just felt like
You learned.
they're humans. Yeah. It was not even that I learned. It was just like, all right,
just a
I can
human
see
experience.
how quickly things can spiral. So
Yeah.
it was good. It was good. I'm watching it again. I'm probably gonna watch it another time. This is gonna be my new 7 pounds. For those of you who don't know, 7 pounds is a movie that I watch every night overseas. There wasn't a night where I didn't watch it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Why?
7 pounds.
Shit is so sad. That should make me cry.
It's not.
Did it make you? The things
Yeah.
that make you cry baffle me.
7 pounds didn't make you guys cry?
7 pounds is an amazing film.
Fucking thug.
Well, I cried like 8
But
times in my life. That was
will
one of
probably
them.
be my new 7 pounds for a minute. I will probably watch this for not every day, but because I ain't got time for that. But I will probably watch this in my spare time, if especially
really
like
nice.
since it's like on TV.
Why do you do that?
Watch it. Huh?
Why do you do
I
that?
really enjoy doing
What?
that.
Why do you rewatch things? I've never understood that.
I had a phase with Mad Max. Anytime Mad Max, Scott Pilgrim, 7 pounds are on TV. I'm
Scott
watching
Pilgrim's
it.
acceptable.
It don't matter what point in the movie it is. I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
So here's my thing. I never
movies
understood
amazing.
that. I never understood people who rewatch, who watch a show and say it's so good and then they rewatch it, or who rewatch movies. How do you do that? I cannot
Because
sit through something twice. It's agonizing.
I can sit through something, especially if I decided I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, did you
Look,
really like it?
I sat through Endgame. That shit was phenomenal. I sat through it 3
never
times
watched
and I hated it. I hated it by the 3rd time. The first time I saw it, I was like, Thanos is my nigga. I changed my profile picture on Instagram to Thanos. I was like, this the realest nigga breathing, bro. This the realest nigga ever. The second time I saw it, I was like, all right, this shit kind of, oh my God.
That's so cool.
7 pounds, Scott
Don't worry, I'm gonna
Pilgrim,
make you disappear just like Thanos.
and Mad Max. Mad Max Fury Road. Now, not the old Mad Maxes, but the most recent one with Tom Hardy.
It's me.
What does me? Yeah, that movie
it.
by
It was
far.
really
Those
good.
movies by far are like my favorite movies, and I'm probably
Y'all
gonna
already
add
know
this
my
one
favorite movie.
to it.
You got a favorite movies list and don't have Pulp Fiction
Love
in
and
it?
Basketball?
Yeah.
Oh.
Duh.
Yeah, but you don't really watch Love and Basketball the way I be
Because
watching
it's
Scott Pilgrim
always
and stuff.
first of all, Sanaa Lathan, what is it? Mike Epps. I know y'all don't got nothing to do
Omar.
with it. Whatever the fuck, I don't give a fuck.
Nah, you don't respect Omar.
I don't want to talk about it. But I just feel like the actors don't got nothing to do with it. But since I can't associate anybody readily with that film other than those 2 main characters, I'm gonna need y'all to make Love and Basketball free. That's why I don't watch it constantly. That's why. Because it is so much money.
At what? The $19.99 is so much money.
I refuse.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like,
Because you
Love
could
and
probably
Basketball,
watch it
you can
for
never stream it
$19.99.
for free. That's why it was like such a big thing on Netflix, and like everybody's like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited!" And that was only for like a limited time.
That's whack.
Exactly. That's why I don't watch it. I think about it all.
But yeah, I mean, anytime Mad Max comes on, I watch it. And Shauna used to get mad because the movie could be over in like 15 minutes. I'm gonna sit there and watch it for those 15 minutes.
I hate.
That's like
love Mad Max.
kind of serial killer tendencies, kind of weird.
No, it's not weird at
It's
all.
not.
That's
I
not
love
weird?
it. No.
Oh, I don't know if y'all can see it, but did my sister brand?
Shameless plug.
Did my sister
On her shirt, it says Mahoney Roots.
It's my
What is
sister brand.
Mahoney?
Oh, it's my family name. Like my my grandmother, the matriarchs. That's their name. Or very. It was a very big.
Her sister sells skincare products and soaps
Soaps.
and beard oil and beard
Hey,
cream,
hey, I'm
and
gonna
it actually
make an
it works good. It
I got it on right now.
It's a good
That's why
brand.
I've been looking all luscious and stuff.
Shameless
like,
plug,
oh,
shameless plug. We don't have any sponsors here, but we do sponsor Mahoney Roots.
Okay.
We buy black. I don't know if you guys know anything I try, anything that I purchase, I try to get it from someone black, or I make sure that the brand behind it supports black people in the slide. I think we talked about that before. Something like stocks. I really do live by that. Like it's to a point to where
now that we have it, like we very much. There is not a family member from Elijah to my sister that sells shirts. If you're doing something and you're a black business, I'm buying your product.
I will do the best I can to support it when I do need it. It's different because I think your sister we support the most because I go through her products often, like soap. She makes some of the best lavender soap around, and
and you know that
lit.
cream, I'm running out.
Yeah.
And she's still playing with me on this invoice, but don't even worry about that. Don't worry about that, sweetheart.
But I do. I mean, if any of my cousins or any family members or friends that have businesses, and if it's something that I could use, I support it. I do. I try my hardest to support it.
Too. As soon as he freaking raps or says something, we'll do that too.
This one engineer, no, bro. Nigga don't want to get in stool, bro.
Get some equipment.
I be trying to get in the stool. This man for so long, he don't want to get in the stool, bro.
Y'all need to figure it out. I don't know what y'all need to do, but we would be supporting that as soon as they feel like they. I don't know. What the fuck?
Try, I'm about to handle it. I'm about to cop me a little setup myself, bro. Start learning this program
No,
and
you
shit,
go.
bro.
Okay. Disregard. It's such a good running joke. I'm gonna let you finish. We done?
Oh, I mean, after of course I pay my dues, you know, like a responsible young man.
I mean, was that your rant that you just didn't understand the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my rant, man. That was
And
my
he was
rant.
the only one that
I don't get that bone with my movie.
And then
Yeah.
you promoted it so well.
I did, right?
Yeah.
I guess that was my rant. No, well, yeah. You know, I do want to say this because there's been a lot of conversations on Twitter, particularly around black people and black men and women, and black women supporting black women or not supporting black women. Not that I want to talk about that precisely, but I do want to I do want to take a step back, and because it goes back to our earlier conversation of just existing as black people.
Right.
We don't have to have a moment to where we have to support and strive and thrive on each other and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I do think the internet as a whole is a garbage black hole,
A cesspool.
and it's a shame because I'm
I'd
trying
love
to make
to
a
be a part
living.
of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a living on the internet right now, and it's tough to do because I don't like all of the toxicity that comes with it, especially from
Speak for
our own people.
yourself.
I hear you, but
So
for
don't
me,
partake in it. You don't have to.
I usually don't,
I
but
quite
in
love
order,
it.
I don't partake
Keeps
in
the
it.
mind sharp.
But you know, like I said,
Love
I you know, Twitter for me has been a resource to find other people that look like me, that are doing things that are beyond anything that I do.
Really?
And I like to see the growth and yeah, like just like for instance, voice actors. There's been a gaping hole in black voice actors for years now, and now there is a group of
Got some gaping holes on my Twitter, man.
from anime Twitter that are supporting black voice actors, men and women, to that are in the field now, and I would love to support them. But the toxicity behind the anime community and the gaming
Holy
community
shit.
and
Anime niggas are
it's just
so
much.
racist.
It's too much.
They're
Yeah, it's
so
just-
racist.
It's too
Hey,
much.
speaking on that though, I do want to say shout out to Fire Force. I was watching season 2 because it's dubbed, and they got a black character in
They
there.
do.
Not only is he dope,
Yeah.
not only is his design dope, his power is dope. He's strong, but he sounds black. When I say sounds black, I
No,
mean
he's actually
his
voiced by a black person.
No, but I'm saying like his like even his dialect and everything, like how he speaks.
Yeah.
He speaks like niggas that I know.
Well, that goes
like
to show you, he's actually voiced for by a black voice actor.
Yeah,
And,
like they
you know,
wrote
it's-
him.
you
Yeah,
know, it's something like obscure, like voice acting. Like I don't even know how you even end up in that field.
it's difficult. It's
But-
very tightly knit.
Again, but the fact that there are black voice actors that are breaking into the film and producing or a part of projects that we love, anime in general,
Yeah.
is great. It's great. It's amazing. So, I mean, I guess that's my rant. I love to go on Twitter and the internets to follow
same.
black people and follow, black people from all different fields, just to see just the range that we got in supporting and trying to support, but the toxicity that live underneath it, and that even coming from these creators. A lot of the creators, you'd be surprised at how much they perpetrate the hate and the negativity. And it's hard for me to get behind that
The
because
fan
I
base
just
is-
can't.
I think-
It's
I
not just the
think
fan
you're
base. I'm talking about the actual creators. Like you can support some of these creators, and those be the same creators that will turn around and just shit on the next person trying to
Yeah,
make it
they
up.
do that. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's
just-
competition.
It's nasty. It's disgusting. So
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I have a hard time. That's my rant, man. I just wish we would be a little nicer to everyone. People just to be a little nice, and people just listen. Not that I don't appreciate the 4 or 5 followers views that we get, but please.
No,
Watch
but
Blood
here's
on
the
that.
thing. So, like, since you mentioned that real quick, I don't got a rant at all. But there's this like black girl on freaking YouTube that I watch, and when I started watching her, she just had like literally a couple thousand followers, and I know that's a lot because we only have 4. But like, it was so great because when a girl sourced her. Teen Noir sourced her video in like a YouTube video that she did, and Teen Noir is like, she's like 250,000 strong, and this girl just blew up. I mean, her popular video now sits at 622,000 views, and she's like followed by like 170,000 people, and I've just been like basking in her success. I'm so
Isn't that cool to see
happy.
like somebody
it
grow?
happened in a month. Like
Yeah.
she blew. When I say that every day, I'm literally like, I'm like that nerd that will go to her page and like keep doing like this. To
Yeah, to
like,
see how it
man,
goes up. There's somebody I'm watching who blew up too. When I started watching him, he was at 16K, and he know who this too because I've been watching him all the time.
Yeah.
He went from like I started watching him at 16K. In about 4 months, he's at like 248,000 now.
It makes you you feel like
it feels good.
Like you're doing like you feel like it's.
I feel like I'm helping every time I watch. I'm like, hey nigga, I see you nigga. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, my nigga. Go ahead.
Comments, I like all the videos. You know what I'm saying? Or if I see a video not performing as well, girl, I'm going there. I'm engaging with it.
I'm sharing it. Come on.
So it's I don't know. It
feels good. It feels good to support and then see that person like benefit from it.
Yeah.
Like it feels good.
My phone just died. So.
Oh, your phone died?
Yeah, my phone died.
That's tough.
That is tough.
That's tough.
Okay, toodles, guys.
Have a good one.
That was fun. Yo, thank you guys. This is another episode of Blood Don't Matter, episode 004. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but.
So what? Let me not do it. Cut that part out. Cut that part out. Cut that part out, bro.